Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Hello, 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 everyone. We are here for Married at First Sight season 20, episodes 4 through 6. We have left the honeymoons, we have moved in, and we are on the couch. Some of us. Some of us are on the couch. Some of us can't even get quality time together. Some of us want to be married to be alone. Some of us are enjoying the company so much of our spouse that we're willing for them to feed us their meat by bare hand. I'm sorry. That was the most earth-shattering moment for me, because what are you doing holding the steak with your bare hand trying to feed it to me? But anyway, we're not here for that. How are you today, Trey?
Skin.
Okay.
Can you not hear me?
I hear you now. I hear you now.
Well. We are here once again. Talk about another week. A lot of travesties happening, I guess. But yeah, I actually enjoyed this group episode. So let's talk about it.
Oh, we will. We will. I think we'll be fighting too.
Really? You so?
I mean, just have to fight you just to fight you, Trey. I mean, we can't agree on everything.
Hey. Great minds think alike. That does not mean we should be adversaries because that is so. This is what it is. You gotta look like that. You gotta look like that.
Hold on.
Hold
the line. Okay. Just making sure we are having additional guests, y'all. So please hit that like button. Make sure you are your seat is in the upright position with your tray table stowed, because we may be in for some bumpy rides based on some of the guests that may be rolling through. Okay? Based on some of the guests that might be rolling through here, we will have ourselves a funky good time. And not funky like whole bath funky. Like whole bath funky like Shawn was taking. And I'm sorry, Shawn, if you are listening, please tell me that that's the after bath. Shout out to Strange. That is the after bath that you were doing. I'm hoping that some people take a bath and it's hot water and then they're sweating after the bath and you just want to wipe off that sweat. But even if that was the case, the underarm to the back of the neck,
I think they played him. Oh, they weren't right for that.
Ain't no way.
I want to be that,
hugging you. She regret letting him in the bed. Now, ladies, I would like ladies.
There's Marissa.
Ladies, this one is for you. Okay, this one is for you. Our special guest today, Easton. How are you?
I'm doing well. How is everybody doing? I'm glad to be back. I see my boy Trey. Wait, we got a whole bunch of guests today. I was gonna say I haven't seen y'all since y'all came to Austin.
Right. Yes.
Okay, so it's a reunion up in here, but we got a lot to talk about.
We do have a lot to talk about. Yeah, say hello to Easton. Easton is doing the daggone thing. Easton is in training, y'all. Remember, he had his first boxing match that he won. He is 1-0. So don't be catching him in no dark alleys. And he is about to have his next fight later on this year. He's in training. Is it this year, Easton?
Yeah, we in go mode. Yeah, this year. It'll be in Singapore.
Okay. What it do, Easton? What it do? So
look, we gotta get into the nitty gritty because episode 4.
Yeah, we're gonna get into nitty gritty, but let's start off with the nitty. Cameron and Michelle, the nitty. Cameron and Michelle. She told him about her fertility challenges, but Cameron is saying that he had running. He's saying it's time to run, and she's the only reason he's staying there.
Jesus.
let's do it. Let's do it. Since this is Easton's first go around, you want to tackle this one first, Easton, Ari, then Trey?
Yeah, I think they're gonna work out, but Cameron's a little swirly to me. He's just a little bit like 37. Not to say the age is. It's just 37, assistant or a head coach at a community college, and hasn't had a long-term relationship. Again, I'm trying to call it fair on both sides. So this is a very big red flag for me, anyways. Because why are you? I mean, I understand that the job has you all over the place, and maybe you were playing before you became a coach, but something is a little bit weird with this one. Michelle seems like for the most part, she seems like she's very congruent with her story. I can see something like her with her of dating maybe the wrong guy or dating people who weren't that serious, and she's more on the long-term relationship type of quip, and she might be dating somebody who's a temporary fly-by-night type of person. But so far, it seems like they're working out pretty well. I think if there's going to be any issues in that relationship, it will be with Cameron and Cameron alone.
Yeah, it could work if he don't run. And he's telling her, we got to move away. We can't live by our parents because, he's a coach. The contracts is where he gonna go. Ari, please tell me, how does it take 13 hours to get from Mexico to Seattle?
You're asking the wrong person, because I don't be hopping on planes like that. So you're asking the wrong person. But I think they were doing fine until he kept repeatedly bringing up that he's a runner or track star. And then what I noted was that she purposely asked him, if you're such a commitment phobe, how did you get to a point that you're ready to be all in and do this process? And he didn't even answer a question. That's the funny part. He didn't even ask her, answer the question. He just said, well, I'm ready. I'm going to stick it out for you. That's not the question she asked, my guy. What are you doing? So I'm like, yeah, we're going to have to keep a good eye on him. So that's all I got to say about that. And we'll let Trey go.
Yeah, Trey, Michelle is holding on to this man real tight.
To answer Ari's question, why did he sign up for the show? I don't think he did sign up for the show. I think his mother signed him up for the show. Or a close family member. Say, hey, bro, tired of you living out here living the single life. You say you want to get together. Well, let's help you out and convince him to come on. That's probably what happened. He didn't come by. This was not his idea, but he adopted it. That's what I'm saying. Now, I actually kind of agree with Easton. I think they could work out. The problem is it's going to be completely on Michelle to do so. Completely. And she's going to have to do it in a way which we are seeing before our eyes. She's going to have to be completely agreeable with everything he has going on, what he's doing. She is the one that's going to have to change her life somewhat drastically to make it work with him. Now, I may be saying this, as it may sound bad as far as Cameron is concerned. Hear me out. Cameron is actually telling her this and asking her if she's going to be okay with that. So this is not a situation where he just sit back just going to let it go. You got to grow with me. You don't. He is at least asking her some very hard, difficult questions here, and being open about how he feels about all of this. I have to give him that. I have to give him something, okay? Because right now, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's gonna sound crazy. He's doing the best out of all the husbands. He's doing the best out of all the husbands.
At least he's communicating that he gonna run. Is he
doing
the best? Is he doing the best?
There's a close second, but he is doing the best. Okay. He is doing the best. You're gonna be surprised about the close second, but he's doing the best.
No, you're probably gonna tell me Adam.
Heck nah. What you mean even worse? He down at the bottom.
To his wife, he's the
No,
second.
he's still down at the bottom. What you mean?
I'm telling you.
Oh, she's great for now. She's great, but I'm just saying. I read the TVs. What's happening?
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
She said, I'm ready to make them babies now, but you got a year head start, okay? Because once I get myself together, we're gonna be having babies a year after. So tell me now if I need to get myself together. But I won't be, Michelle was right. I won't be 38 years old or 45, whatever she said, and now trying to pop out kids. I like Michelle in that she leaves space for him.
How old is she now?
She's 28.
She's 28 now?
Yeah, she's 28 now.
I thought she was older.
I thought you said she was 5, but okay. Maybe not.
I thought she was older than that.
That's what the show said.
I thought for sure in the episode she said she was 30-something already. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Okay. I don't know. It was weird. Okay.
The show could be wrong in the print. Okay, the show could be wrong in the print. I just took the age from the print that they put out there from her picture. But what she is saying is, I want to have babies, but I won't wait forever. So don't think you 37 now, Cameron. Don't think that you're going to be 45 and your bride is now popping out insurance.
To be fair, I think with Cameron also, with him being coming from higher education, having a significant other, having a wife is also a very big power play in terms of positioning yourself for your next job and your next opportunity. So I do think, I mean, to me, it seems like Cameron is one of those guys who maybe chased the hoop dream a little bit, played overseas or something like that for a little too long, hit into he went into head coaching, but by now, maybe his colleagues are a little bit further ahead and further along while he's trying to catch up. And now he's trying to do so. But in the midst of him catching up, he's maybe a little bit too picky. And I'm just assuming that this community college, it might not be in a bustling metropolitan area. So he might not be able to like have the massive of options that he would normally be, he would normally have at his fingertips. So I don't know. I think Cameron's an interesting guy because I'm like, you shouldn't have no issues. Like my rule is, if you don't look like you need to be on the show, you really don't need to be on the show. And Cameron doesn't strike me as somebody who really needs to be on the show. He seems pretty normal, and he's a hooper. So my fingers, my spider senses are twitching right now with Cameron.
It is twitching, and as Trey said, we applaud that he is honest with her when he does have the feeling that he wants to run and get away. He doesn't just clam up and run. So as far as that is concerned, Cameron is doing better. Yes, Trey is correct in that Michelle is 34. The initial pictures for her that I had when they first put it out there said 28. So that will be corrected for the next live. Okay. Anybody has anything riveting to say about Cameron and Michelle? Welcome on into all the new people and the folks that we haven't seen in ages. I'm not going to call your name out, but welcome on in.
I'm not going to say that they should or should, but I am going to ask the question, how many times are they going to portray her fertility issues as a storyline every episode? Are they going to do that to us?
Yes, they are.
I can tell from these Cameron's standpoint, it might be getting old. He heard it the first time. That's something they have to talk. I get a sense from him that's something we got to talk about in more detail behind the scenes, one-on-one, and how it's really going to go. But I get a sense that every time they put them together, and you can tell this scene, okay, we got to put y'all together and talk about something.
Right.
When it comes on that, it's like, okay, we're doing this again. I get that sense from him.
But we'll always be talking about his, stint as a coach because he's going to be moving. So his storyline is the coach that's always moving wherever the contract is, and her storyline is a woman that is very in tune with her health and fertility. That is what we're going to get from the two of them. That's it.
I think it's pertinent information with her having fibroids, and I think also just the cultural aspect of it being Asian. I think that producers have definitely leaned heavily into that. I can see it being a nag to Cameron if they keep talking about it. But at the same time, I'm like, this is what you signed up for being on the show. Like, brother, you're going to have to accept it. And you might have to expedite your plans a little bit to accompany her decisions and her health timeline, because that's important as well.
Yeah, it definitely is. So that is what we're going to get from these. And Heavenly Love says the success rate at this for you is 20%. Well, we're going to see if we're going to hit that 20% or if this season going to drag them down to the bottom. And no, I'm not going to name them, just like Pastor say on the pulpit. I ain't going to name them, at all. But Jesus know their number. Next up, talking about, storylines. Mr. Adam and Miss Marissa. I was wigged out with him feeding her that piece of meat. I'm still grossed out by it. You don't pick up the food with your hand and not at all. Not at all. And then Adam, why do you have the axes right above the bed? That's some frat boy stuff that needs to go. I don't know. Trey, let's go Trey, Easton, Ari. How we classify Marissa and Adam, who seem to be the most physically attuned to each other?
Well, this is what our good friend, the show coach, would say. She has got the lash. She's been lashed and been lashed well. Okay? Because she is blinding herself to what's going on around her. Okay? She is locking herself in. She's like, you know what? Yeah, I can work with this. Even if when you pull back the wrapper, it's looking worse and worse. You're like, really? This what you? Nah, you know what? She all in. She all in. She already seen some things that I saw the look on her face. She was accepting of it, but she was looking face. Oh, I could change that. I could do this different. Hold on, I got this. It's fine. Yeah, to have this good-looking man on her arms, and that's to her opinion. That's how she's acting. Yeah. She's another one about, she won't be as minimal as Michelle is, but she's going to do what all she got to do, at least from her standpoint, to lock it all in. It's kind of crazy because I ain't like, all beforehand, starry-eyed. Anything he did, until she went in the house and saw a few things, then you saw her eyes. She went, no. Ooh, no, I don't think so. Oh, yeah, we're going to change that. But she didn't say nothing. She just, okay. Yeah, that's what I expected, fat boy. It would change. Now, will Adam be down for all that? I don't know. This dude is giving me F-boy since day one. Knew what he was, know what he is, and this is not an F-boy that's looking to change. We already got another one like that, and yeah, he about to go through that. He's about to come up. I don't think he's willing to change for this one. So I don't know. This is looking real bad down the line for her. Now, if you're gonna feed somebody a steak, don't do it on camera. Okay, just don't do it on camera.
Not with your bare hands.
Hey. What two people do in the privacy of their homes, want to be sexy. Hey,
that is not the privacy of the beach with a camera in front of you and the whole crew watching. That's
what I meant. Don't do it on camera. Because if they were by themselves, it wouldn't be an issue because we wouldn't know. I mean, are we going to say that if he fed her a strawberry? No. So what's the difference?
He says he's refined. Okay. He high in the instep is what he said. And we are clearly seeing that, the caveman is not too far.
Nah, he's trying to transition to being, high in the instep, as you call it. I can see that he's trying to transition into that.
Yeah, with all the
but nah.
piano playing. Thank you, production,
Yes.
for us not seeing Adam play any instrument this series of episodes. We are glad that we don't have to hear him play or try and pretend like we clapping for him like Easton just did. Okay.
Dudes, nobody wants to hear all that. The thing,
Go ahead, Easton.
Adam and Marissa are honest. I have a spicy take. I actually think that they could work out because you have somebody who's willing to go through hell and high water to make it work. Marissa is one. I don't trust anybody who over here down in Fireball like she is. You can't trust them. You can't do that.
But Easton, he kissing her all up in the mouth with them fireballs she drinking, and he don't like alcohol.
The thing, he's got a touch of the tism. He's got a touch of the tism, and she's so desperate to make it work. This is the perfect matchup. Touch of the tism ain't changing for nobody. He got so many quips and little interesting talents, and he's the Rain Man. So I'm telling you, she's the perfect fit for him. You put the touch of the tism person with the she's somewhat desperate to make this thing work. Oh, she gonna make it. And the thing is, he's gonna be like, the love that he's gonna generate from her to her is gonna be because she went through all of his steps, all of his jet skis and his frat house and eating steak from his hands. He thinks he's perfect, and she's the perfect villain, like the villain who has like the assistant. She's the perfect assistant. Like any super villain has an assistant, and she's the perfect one. And so that's why I think they're gonna work, is because Adam is
a super villain.
Yeah, super villain. He's like Lex Luthor. He thinks he's like 5 steps ahead of everybody. He can play the piano. He's making all this great money. He has jet skis. He lives on a boathouse or a lake house. But Marissa, I'm willing to say she's desperate. I think she's desperate. That fireball gave me desperation. But I'll quit right there and I'll move.
I would call him desperate too. I would call him a little desperate as well.
I don't know. He had old girl that he was willing to cut off. Did he
cut her off?
No, he was willing to play the game. I'm saying I think Marissa she gives me the vibe of like Ring by Spring, Caucasian. You know, there's different levels, and the Ring by Spring, they really pushing the getting married thing, and she's a little late to that party. So Adam, she gonna take him good, bad, or indifferent. And Adam is gonna take her because he can't keep nobody long term. He runs them away.
Well,
so there it is.
Well, Ari, I know you said you missed the feeding her at the table scene.
Yes, and I'm glad I did, because
what did you think of her screaming the entire time on the jet ski?
That is what it was. By that point, I was just like, I was over them, because at this point, I'm not so sure I'll call her completely desperate at this point right now, but I am comfortable with saying that she is at least halfway, because whoever said in the chat, she saw the lake house and saw money, because lake houses are not cheap, even though his looks more run down than anything. Sorry to say, Adam, but it does.
Definitely not the fixer upper. Not the fixer upper.
He got a project.
Yeah, but lake houses still aren't cheap. Like, because we got Lake Travis out here in near Austin, so and Austin's are not cheap as it is. So those lake houses over there by Lake Travis are not cheap at all. I know they're like, I can imagine they go for at least $1 million easy. So so she saw she's willing to make it work more than he is, because my whole thing is that he said on the wedding episode that it takes a lot for him to go up to a woman. And from what I remember, what stuck out to me was that he said And for him to do that, he has to find her extremely attractive, or I think he even said hot or something like that. And they didn't even say anything after the fact, after they exchanged numbers. So that lets me know he's not really that invested in her. I think I said it last week that I was thinking that only reason why he was doing this was because he saw his friends and family group married, mostly married, if not all of them. And he was like the odd man out, even though he's odd himself or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I said that in my own review, but yeah, I still think that's at least partially true, if not completely right now. I'm starting to kind of think maybe he's on his Nick time where he is wanting to be on the show for exposure and not really to be married. So that's where I'm kind of landing with them.
Well, I want to thank a pimp named Slickback. Okay, love the name. Seen you on the YouTube streets. Love the name. I think Adam is her type to a T, and she fantasizes about being with him. But he's crazy and sassy, and we'll have her going crazy over the next few weeks. Thank you so much. And we like to wiggle and jiggle a little bit for contributions, and we'll have the birds wiggle. Thank you so much for your comment and contributing to the channel. He's gonna have her spinning, definitely.
Yeah.
Now, is she going to be willing to spin for him? Yeah.
I think so.
But I don't think she wants to be the only audience to all his concerts and recitals. That's what's going to wear her thin, and getting waterlogged all the time, taking the jet skis everywhere. But she going to hang it.
Somebody said earlier, Christina Coronado said earlier, these two have no conversations of substance. That's because they are not people of substance. I say it like that.
You know what I noticed? Like, she said that this is the first relationship where the chemistry is not drunk based.
Fireball,
I was like, that is wild.
Fireball. Mm-hmm. She gives me teacher, registered nurse energy. She gives me like she's stressed out. She got a lot going on. I feel like she's a little bit displaced because of the whole father fiasco. Like, she couldn't even invite him to the wedding. And so I think that she's kind of like in disarray right now, and she's trying to attach to something and get some roots. And she's thinking about getting married is going to do that because she probably wants to do it differently than what she was exposed to, or maybe what her mom was exposed to later on. I just think that she's rushing into this type of relationship without knowing all that it encompasses. And also Adam, she's just willing to pick whatever horse and then just attach her buggy to it and just keep riding to wherever it's going. But I don't think it's going to end. It's going to end well, because I think Adam's going to get bored unless she's able to like really get some more thought-provoking conversations. Start talking about like, well, why aren't your parents coming? Because he was very vague about that in the first batch of episodes, and I think that is going to be a revolving thing that she needs to kind of dig into, because it doesn't seem like they're that close, in my opinion.
Here's a question for you, gentlemen. Go ahead, Trey, then I'll ask the question.
No, I was going to answer the question. The
question is, men will spend an evening chatting, buying you drinks, getting your number, but then don't call. Can y'all men explain why?
Let me break this down right now. This is the main reason I had an issue with preparing these two in the very first place. If y'all listen carefully, we talked about this first week. We had our first live on this. I said very specifically, they set this man up with a woman with qualities he said specifically he did not like. Specifically, she's a party girl.
Yeah.
And he specifically said he was trying to get away from party girls. So that does tell me something about him. There's something, like Elsa said, he wants to be of a higher caliber, higher level. He is doing certain things to move him into that direction. By him saying that was another indicator. Okay, He's trying to move on from being the party boy. Then when they showed us Marissa, I went, wait, she's the exact opposite he said she didn't want. This is not going to be good. She and to answer Rochel's question directly, we're going to use these two as an example.
No, we want to hear about you buying drinks and not calling.
No, I don't do this. But we see this done every day. And it's very simple to answer. You present yourself as a party girl or put yourself in party girl environments. That's exactly how you're going to be treated as such. Okay? Because you didn't talk about the second half of that. You sat there and let that man buy you drinks, chit chat, this and that and third, talking up this time.
Who else bought you drinks?
Exactly. He was watching you. If I bought you drinks, I had to have seen at least another guy or two try to buy you drinks as well. So you the drink girl. Okay.
Oh, so you ain't stepping up to buy drinks first?
Elsie, I'm going to say this the most respectful way I can. This is going to be very respectful. I am no longer 20 years old. I am a 40-something-year-old man.
So you
I'm not saying
seconds and thirds?
I'm not saying, first of all, if you're still out here dating, you yourself is going to be sloppy seconds and third. Get real with this. This is real life. Okay? You are someone's second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth option by this point in our lives. Okay? You ain't 20 years old. It's just starting out no more.
We're talking about drinks at the bar. We ain't talking about dating.
It's all inclusive. It's all inclusive. My point is, she's still acting like she a young 20-something-year-old getting drunk every daggone weekend with her friends, getting toe up. They put her with a man that just said he's trying to get away from that. Now, she's doing a good job of masking it. If you notice, like she said, like Ari just said, she ain't really been having a drink, has she? She know this man gonna drink. She taste testing his drinks. Make sure, which is halfway cute, halfway annoying. It's halfway cute, halfway annoying. But
she gonna acquiesce to whatever he wants to be. Exactly. She gonna, that's her problem. That's gonna be her downfall. Is she gonna acquiesce to whatever she want, and he gonna be like, I'm not really.
He don't want her because he already pushed it to the side 2 years ago or 2 years before this.
Exactly.
So it's like, he don't want her.
Now Easton,
this is just a double bet. This is a double bet for him. Oh, I ain't get it that last time. Okay, come through. Boom, 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 boom. There it is. And it's probably pretty decent. Well, I don't know if it's pretty decent for him. It's obviously pretty decent for her. But for him, he's just like, yeah, regular. That's how he's acting. I'm sorry, that's how he's acting. Regular.
Well, I need to hear from Easton about buying drinks for the lady and getting her number and not calling her.
I think once you get past like the initial discussion and like y'all might be vibing, buy some drinks, the vibes are right, but you've like heard enough times, maybe enough keywords to know like this isn't somebody I can take long distance. This isn't somebody I would introduce to my parents. This isn't somebody that I will want to like, again, hitch the wagon of marriage. And so that's why you don't even call, because you don't even want to get that. Sometimes you get mature enough as a man to know, hey, I don't even want to open this door, because honestly, if you get the number, there's a high possibility that you could probably go for a second date. Y'all could end up, going back to somebody's place, and that ends up a slew of other problems. But you have a little bit more discernment, and I'd say you probably learned that around like in your mid-20s, late 20s, that hey, I might not need to engage in this because there's nothing going to be fruitful on the other end of that. Even if I did buy drinks and we did have amazing conversation, I don't see this being somebody that I can build long-term with or even, ingrained in my lifestyle. And so that's why you don't call, because you're like, this ain't it.
But as this comment says, why would you go to a bar and meet women if you don't want a party girl?
There's a lot of stuff. Yeah, it depends. There's plenty of places socially that you can meet people for drinks or meet people to try to, engage and learn more about them. Obviously, maybe bars might not be the best place to meet somebody at certain points in your life, but it is a place where that there's going to be a heavy concentration of probably the opposite sex. And so It just happens to be kind of like a numbers game.
So let
And
me
he said
ask.
so himself. He stopped drinking over a year ago.
Mhm.
That was 2
Yeah, and he
years
just
ago.
right. So I was about to say, like, when was this like whole he didn't stop
Yeah.
drinking thing? So it was like before that whole thing. So that's probably why he was in the bar because
Adam seems like he's somebody who's changed. Like he's late 20s or
Trying
he's
to
early
change.
30s, trying to change, and he's super rigid. Because most guys, when we first start off this evolution, we don't have good balance. It's like when we go to the gym, we all in the gym. When we go, when we get out at the bars and clubs, we not drinking nothing. We don't know how to have things in moderation. And so that's where it seems like Adam is in his journey. It's like, oh, I can't drink. I can't be around people who smoke. I can only be around X, Y, and Z. And it limits you. And it also doesn't let you practice the art of saying no in a healthy manner, in my opinion. So that's what I think Adam's doing. And so I think Marissa's trying to acquiesce to that, but that's not her. But she's gonna do it just for the sake of trying to get Adam.
So while I know the panel does not do piano recitals, okay, does anyone on the panel nap in the afternoons as much as Marissa?
I never used to take naps before. I do occasionally now when I have the chance, like on the weekends. I took a nap yesterday. I was ecstatic about it, but yeah, occasionally I'll say. But that's just me.
I can't. If I take a nap, I'm sick. I can't take a nap and then go to sleep that night. It just throws my equilibrium off. I ain't going, fuss you. I appreciate the people who need a nap to recharge and whatever, but I can't do the power nap. I can't do an afternoon nap. I would just be up like all night because my body feels like it's already taking its rest.
And I was told this by my primary physician about a month or so ago for a checkup. Now all of a sudden, taking naps is bad for you. When did this start?
I feel like that's propaganda. That's propaganda. That's so that
Yeah,
so you can,
that's what it sounds like. I'm like, what?
That's so you can work longer hours for the man.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Yes, he asked me specific questions. Are you taking too many naps during the day? How long are you taking your naps? Like, well, I don't take naps during the day, but still, like, I was curious, like, what's the problem with taking naps? Well, if you take too many, for a lot of people, and I do understand the thought process that it is. For people who take 1 or 2 hour naps during the day, they tend to stay up more during the night when you should be asleep. But that kind of fits for Marissa's because she's a party girl. Well, so times going to be up at night, so she needs those naps during the day to function at night.
Look, the telltale with Marissa, and I'll be done, is Marissa is not an ugly person. She is she is not an ugly woman.
Right.
She is not looks compatible or looks challenged. She is, I would say she's top tier milk. And the fact that she's on this show, top tier, she's she's a little bit she's close to whole milk.
Skim milk. She's skim milk.
Skill milk.
Because he has something up here.
Gentlemen, let's just say that she's at the top of the market. Okay, she's at the top of the market in her category for a 30-year-old young lady.
Yes,
she is a beautiful young lady.
Beautiful. And so I always find it interesting that, like, why are you on the show? Adam and her both have their own issues. I don't know. I don't think that she's getting taken seriously by other guys in general. I think that this show is like a Hail Mary for her to get into marriage, because I think her partying is actually a little bit more destructive to her, and it's not conducive to her actual wanting of getting married at all.
Does she want to get married? Because it seems to me that she keeps saying 6 of my friends got married. It's like she's being left behind. What do I do? What do I do? I need to get married like the rest of them. Oh, man.
Nobody wants to be. Again, I've gone to my fair share of weddings, and I've been invited by plenty of homegirls and even people I was dating at the time. And none of them wanted to really be nobody wants to be the forever bridesmaid. Nobody wants that. And she's probably like always in the weddings or being around, and you kind of want to be the person who's finally, because to be honest, some people, being the bridesmaid or being invited is the closest thing you're going to get to being married. And I'm sure Marissa doesn't want that. And so she's like, shoes, let's go on Married at First Sight. Let's make it happen. I'll do whatever Adam needs me to do.
Gotta tell Marissa, marriage is not for everybody.
This is
marriage
true.
is not for everybody. Don't let that be an end goal, because your friends are in it too. Speaking of end goal, I don't know what Caitlyn's end goal is. Okay, I do not know what Caitlyn wants to be other than alone and single yet married. And Devin is feasting off of the crumbs that she is giving him. But he's right. He's right. We discussed waking me up. If you wanted to be alone, and I have done this with my husband, I will tell y'all, I'll be like, hey, we go in here. I really need some time. And you go to your corner, I go to mine. And when I'm ready to assimilate with you, I'll come get you. There are ways to do this, but I don't think Caitlyn knows how to do this. I'll go Easton, Trey, Ari.
Look, I want to give Caitlyn as much smoke, many times as I've been considered the resident misogynist. I want to give Caitlyn the smoke of the century, but there's something about Devin that seems insufferable, and just as insufferable as, you know, some women can be. I think an insufferable man is 100 times worse. I think this guy is really emotionally stunted. And I knew this when he wore them shades to his wedding on his head. And I ain't mad. And he got them frosted tips like he's in NSYNC back in 97. But this is neither here nor there. There's something insufferable about Devin. And granted, Caitlyn is, her archetype is somebody who's hung around her dad and who looks, I won't say looks down at her mom, but she doesn't want her to be her mom. Her dad is an enigma. He pulls all the energy out of the room, and she's learned that. And I don't think that she aspires to be anything like her mom. I think that she wants to engage and showcase the energy of her dad. And Devin, he's still hurt from back in the day, which, you know, we all have to work through our own traumas. But I think Devin is emotionally stunted, and he needs to be like all of the things he says. I want my wife and my kids to be at the games and stuff like that. Well, sometimes they got to be at the house doing chores. We can watch online. We ain't got to be in the stands every time. Like, what you mean? I'm telling you, something with Devin, and I think that he's like a monitoring spirit. But that's just me. I'll land it right there.
Not he's a monitoring spirit. He just wants to have a wife bring in the orange slices to the game. He wants the family unit he never had.
He has a vision, but he got to understand that not everyone wants that. Like, I'm not gonna be like, hey, you got to bring the orange slices and the Capri Suns. Maybe Caitlyn don't want to do that. Like, he has this vision, and I feel like he's gonna will it to existence by any means necessary. And Caitlyn probably needs a little less on top. She doesn't need Devin on top of her as much. But she could have handled things a lot better. I do have smoke for Caitlyn, but Devin seems a little insufferable to me.
So Devin is the insufferable golden retriever, Ari.
I'll let Trey go because you said him next.
Okay,
so.
Trey. Go ahead, Trey.
Devin. There's two things about Devin that struck me. Okay. Two things that struck me at Devin. Because of how he was raised and who he was raised by, I do think he practices some level of emotional regulation, some level of it. The problem is he's also extremely needy. This is a needy man. Okay, he's a needy, emotionally regulated man. Now, what that actually means, he knows how to express his emotions in a positive manner when talking to him. The problem is, because he was missing some things in his life growing up, and he feels some type of way about it as well. Somebody just said he needs a lot of validation from the person he says he's going to love. Now, here's where the kicker starts. They put an emotionally needy man with an unemotional woman. Well, actually, she's emotionally unavailable.
She like her daddy. She like her daddy.
She is emotionally. I don't know if she's like a daddy. Her daddy seems more emotionally available. He's able to express a lot more, even if it's anger. She's a brick wall. She's a brick wall. But not afraid to use a few caring tears to get some sympathy. Notice that too. I noticed that. Okay. And the funny thing is, she hit the nail on the head about herself when she did her little confessional. She said, I'm afraid that I am unable to give him what he needs emotionally. This is not a dumb chick. She's stupid. She knows her own shortcomings. And this is one of them. Being emotionally available. It seems like she wants to mask her emotional unavailability to the fact that she's hyper independent. If you notice that she was trying to get that across, I'm very dependent, hyper independent, whatever. Funny thing, this is why this season is very interesting. We actually have a hyper independent woman on this season. We get to later. That's what that actually looks like. Put her up against Caitlyn. That don't really fit, does it? That ain't you. You're not hyper independent. You have strong independence. Don't get me wrong, but no, baby girl, you just emotionally unavailable. You do not know how to express yourself correctly in a situation. Which I'm spazzing out because I said the same thing last week because I was like, wait a minute. How in the heck was she able to be in 2 separate 4-year relationships? How did that even happen? And funny enough, she don't want to talk about it. If you notice, we ain't got to talk about that travesty and stuff. Automatically I'm thinking, ooh, baby girl, what did those men do to you? Now I have to step back and rethink this. What did you not do in that relationship to have them finally leave you? Did you break, like you said, break from it? Was it break
Stick
from
around?
it?
She didn't stick around.
She didn't stick around, or they didn't stick around?
She didn't stick around long enough, and they got tired of not seeing her and seeing her note saying, "I'm gonna be back."
I believe it. So this is a weird situation that they got going on with this particular couple. The sad part is, I do think they generally like each other. I do think they generally are attracted and like each other. But there's some things going on in their heads mentally that is not vibing. Communication is one of them. And I'm sorry, this point I have to side with Devin on. Caitlyn does not communicate effectively at all. At all. Because that whole gym debacle, I'm gonna be honest, that could have been, it didn't have to go that, it really didn't have to go that way. I know there's 2 sides to the story. When I heard both sides, I totally understand how this happened. She got up, her alarm went off. He probably heard it too. Peeked his head from out on the blanket, like she said, and then went back to sleep. He wasn't thinking of nothing. He's like, oh, she just up, go back to sleep. She took it as, oh, I guess he's not getting up with me, and we just walked out the door. Forgetting that, oh, wait, guess what? I'm in a relationship now. Maybe I need to ask. These are the times, especially in the beginning of a relationship, you don't go off and assume things. You have to actually ask your partner about certain things. Hey, baby, are you getting up? Hey, remember what we said we was going to get up? If you want to stay in, that's fine. That's all you had to say, or ask him.
Trey, you need to warn him about what happens on MAFS when your partner go to the gym by themselves.
Who she in the gym with? I need to see that footage. Who's in the gym with her? Who's in the gym with her?
Courtney.
What was it? I was about to say, was it Courtney?
Yeah, I was gonna say she might find her lover. You know how last season happened with the gym. You know, she might find a new lover.
Gonna be Courtney. That's
her new fiance. Okay, if y'all have not seen, right? Can we say David and Madison? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can. Who are now engaged, okay, to be married. Mm-hmm. So MAFS bring people together, not only in the couples that they form. So yeah, don't send your wife or husband to the gym by themselves on MAFS. That's all I'm saying.
I ain't mad at it because I was defending David and Madison. I was defending.
Trey, was that did you want to continue with them? Okay, Ari, your frosted tip brethren.
No, I'm about to come over there and like.
Easton is on your side. Easton can't stand the frosted tips either.
Yes, let me get back to that. Thank you, Trey. But yeah, and I think I agree with the most part with everyone else that he is so needy, and that is, I was getting drained just listening to him. I was like, ooh, if you don't get yourself to some therapy, please. It's all because his daddy abandoned him. And these people in their abandonment issues, him, Mecca, BelleJolie, all three of them have abandonment issues. Like, ugh. I didn't think it was going to come out this soon with him, but apparently, like, BelleJolie and Mecca talking about their abandonment issues was enough. It was him as well. So, but yeah, I was just, I guess the reason why I wasn't so hard on Caitlyn was because of the fact that I too enjoy my recuperation time, and I get drained pretty easily. So as soon as I know I'm drained and I literally need some time to myself, I will be snippy with you. I don't mean to, but I will be. And so that's what I need to work on. It's like, hey, I need my time alone. But yeah, I can see Trey's point that the whole, she should have just said something, say, like, told him, like, hey, do you still don't plan on getting up? Because we talked about it last night. Like, you wanted to go to the gym with me. She could have said that. I also don't think that I don't think we saw anything that, like, saw them talking about it, but I feel like he didn't really talk about it, and maybe because he felt like she just is shut down or something, because it just seemed like they didn't actually talk about it until Lisa, when they were in front of Lisa. So
I want to know how much time did she spend around him that she know what she likes about him.
I mean, she's sitting there mute, so I mean, maybe she does. I don't know, but
I think here's where the bone I'll throw Caitlyn. I think it's the whole production of it all that's a lot for her. I think it's the production and the miking, and then we have to do confessionals and we have to do this. It's not only up on the Devin, it's just all the production behind it we don't see. Right. That is getting to be too much for, I have to get the mic on at 6 a.m. I got to go here for this time and this time. And she's not able, as she said, this is unnatural. This is not her natural state of being. This is not her natural way of doing things. And I think that's what a lot of them maybe don't understand. And we can't understand unless we have been through a production. It's hurry up and wait.
That's fair. But I also think that, like, she's older than, or according to the ages, she's slightly older than Devin. Devin seems like he's a little bit stunted in the sense that I think he uses a lot of, like, he's the type of person who uses a lot of therapy words, but that doesn't necessarily understand the gravity of what he's necessarily, like, laying out. And Caitlyn, I think that she's a little bit cold. Like, she she showcases more of her father like than she does her mother, in my opinion. I also think that Devin he's still young. Like I'm just trying to like backtrack a couple years ago, being 26, and then like I don't even. Andy's a rugby player, and they're kind of rowdy kind of guys anyway. It just to me, it just seems like he's a lot to handle. Caitlyn kind of seems like she likes a little bit more stoic and reserved, and we'll see how it goes. But Devin just needs to go bald, to be honest, because he just needs to go bald. I noticed that. I was like, brother, just go bald.
I did notice the kind of bald spot on the back of his head when I rewatched that scene where they were in Mexico. I was like, wait a minute.
We're not getting into the grooming of it all.
I'm not trying to get on the looks, but I think that like, just brother, just cut it out. You can be just like her daddy. Her daddy bald. She like bald. Her daddy bald. She might like bald men. Just go for it, because
I just don't understand. And I have to, as a hyper independent woman, I have been and I am, but I'm able to tell you. Here's the thing: a man saying he'd like to cater to you, take care of you, that makes you want to run.
Well, no, because see, wait, hold on. Because when she was doing her hair and that when they were going to meet the couples, whether it's the first or second time, he kept poking his head into her, like, dude, let her leave, leave her alone. That's the draining part. Like, he kept going back to her. I'm like, I can see why she's drained with him, at least for some instances. Not every instance when they were sitting over there eating the mangoes, pineapple, whatever it was, but like he kept popping back and forth, in and out. I'm like, let her finish, because all she's gonna do is just get overwhelmed because you keep coming over to her. And I'm like, but okay. Anyway, sorry.
I agree. We're not seeing everything.
Being around him, yeah, I don't think we see everything. I think that he is a tad bit. Well, he's needy, but he's like a sickly, like a dog that that's always on your hip, that's always on your heels. That's what you know. Now
because we don't see everything, we don't know if this is his natural state or if production is like, go check on her. Go check on her again.
I think this is I feel like this might be a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation. Because if you don't check with her, this whatever, oh, you're not that into her. You're just off-putting. You don't care what's really going on. So you overcompensate by going to check on the constant. Oh, now it's coming off needy. That's what I'm reading. Bro, you leave her alone. But if you do that, you're gonna look like somebody else that was doing that to his partner, and she was having an issue with it.
Now he looks like he could braid her hair too, and she would be offended by that.
Probably so. But what I'm saying is, with them, I know that again, I'm a huge believer in the experiment. I don't treat this as a traditional marriage. This is an experiment. And so within that, I think that he's getting in his head a lot. Like all the questions he's asking, and even the dudes, like, when they're asking, like, have they been intimate, or what's the status of everybody's relationship? He seems like he takes all of this stuff and he internalizes times 10 compared to all the other guys. Do you think that person is going to be like, like, let me take a step back and let me reassess things? Or it seems to me like he's like, let me go a little bit further. Let me push a little bit more. And that's why I'm on Devin, because I think as a guy, you have to have it. It's on us to be obviously the leaders, but we also need to understand and have a little bit more calibration on, hey, what is too much and too little? It's always better to have a little less on your chip, dip on your chip, than too much. And I think he has too much dip on his chip too early. And like, I think everybody's gonna like Devin because he seems like this guy, but I think he's really, really needy.
Here's the thing. I don't know if it's needy versus this is a new person. This is a stranger. And I just want to know as much as I can about you. And I'm interested. And it may come off as needy, but this, again, as Caitlyn said, this is not natural. So I see this is a stranger. There's a reason they think she's my perfect spouse or whatever is in his head, but he's an overanalyzer. He already said it. So yes, he will internalize it. Yes, he will think, oh my God, this is supposed to work. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to do everything I can to make this work. Not realizing he's stifling her, and not realizing they're playing in his face when they put him with her, production did.
But this is the problem I have with this whole, especially him in this scenario. He has, to a certain extent, he has no choice but to keep asking questions, overanalyze that third, because he's getting nothing from her. Nothing. It'd been one thing if she's actually expressing something, and yet he's still coming off needy. She's not doing anything. She stonewalls a lot of their conversations where he is trying to sit down and have an adult conversation with her. Oh, this is too difficult for me. I don't want to talk about this no more. Stonewalling. What else am I supposed to do? And also, this is keep it real here. I have noticed, especially with MAFS, that the men do this more than the women. They fully, I don't know how that's going to come off. A lot of men fully know this is a time frame situation. I have to decide within 2 months' time of meeting you that if I want to continue this forward. So I need to try to find out everything about you. Is this going to work or not? I'm trying to find out. If for most men, I ain't gonna say most, so a lot to some to a lot of men, the longer you wait, it's say in this 2 months time, the longer you wait to, express yourself more, get to know you more, this and that, third, these slow burn people, and they're using it as a cover. First off, so I'm talking about that a little bit, but a lot of these slow burns people, I get you. I'm going to respect your boundaries that you put on, but trust and believe and hear me when I say this. The slower you burn to me, the quicker I have made my decision on you.
Because you don't feel any heat.
No, you ain't gonna come to me week 6 or 7 to I'm really into you now. It's all cool. I'm cool on you now.
Yeah.
I'm cool on you now.
Speak.
He's already cool on her. Y'all saw real quick when they were having dinner together, and she was like, "What you gonna do? You gonna be doing, your meal prep and sitting at home waiting for me to come home?" He's basically, "I'm good. I'm good on you." No,
I am busy too. You understand, scared me? I am busy too. I have things to do as well. In the midst of everything I have to do, I'm still doing my due diligence as your husband to check in with you and build this relationship. I'm busy too, boo boo. We all busy.
We gonna see. I think Devin is a bunch of cap. I think he a bunch of cap. I'm on Devin. I'm on Devin. You know how it is. I put my numbers in a little early, and they might not hit. They might not hit when I early on, but later in the series, you be like, "Well, Easton was calling us out." I'm telling you,
Easton said Devin gonna be meal prepping, looking at the door for when she come in.
Probably so. Probably so. Here's the problem. Here's my problem with, even though I love watching these shows, MAFS and Love is Blind particularly, I don't do the rest of them too much. But the reason why I love watching shows, when I go into it, I have one thing understood. Most of these people we see on this television screen is all cap anyway. I'm just trying to see just how much less their cap is as they go through this little process. But they all capping. They all capping.
They all capping. And you know who is really capping? Courteney. Courteney capping real hard. Courteney talking to the ladies versus Courteney talking in the session was two different things. Now all of a sudden you just don't know how you want to touch Nick. Courteney, no, Courteney, girl. And now you want to say that the crewman who's putting the mic
that was crazy
on your top of your bikini. Crazy. You're gonna say he getting more action, and Nick probably wishes it was him. Girl,
that's crazy.
You don't like this man. You don't like this man.
That's crazy.
But I don't like Courteney. She gives me very much Michelle vibes from last season. She gives me very much insufferable, and I can't stand her at all. But I do think Nick is so disingenuous. This man is so disingenuous, y'all. He gonna play and act like he's really interested on that boat, on that catamaran. Acting like he was really thought, oh, what game should we play? like ask these like vague questions and would you rather spend your life with snot coming out your nose for the rest of your life or a bad breath? Like, brother, he came here so he can get a little juice in his cup. He's trying to monkey branch into his next career. I think Courtney was icked out on that even when they were getting married, and it's slowly, continually like it's picking at her brain. Like she's literally like, this guy's on here for the show, or what is this? What is his like actual reason for being on this show? I don't think that she should treat him like that, but she had the ick because he's always on all these shows and she's gonna be the villain, but it's because Nick is so disingenuous.
Nick also told y'all that he was, ranked nationally in chess tournament in kindergarten.
Just be making up stuff. Like, we don't care. Like, I get it. Courtney is super insufferable, but that boy Nick is fake, is fraud, is phony.
Coraline, and I hope I said that correctly. You're right. It's not just self-loathing vibes. She's going to find fault with him too, because and again, I am not trying to be insulting at all, but she's outmanning him. I'm opening the wine bottle. I'm fixing the coffee. I know how to change the light bulb. She is doing exactly what you said. There's some self-loathing stuff, but it may be coming from the fact that she's doing more of the manly things that she's expecting of her spouse. Because that is wild. And, I don't begrudge him, but at least, sir, open the daggone wine bottle.
I mean, I'd rather take a man who can't open a wine bottle than what Milton did on Love is Blind and opened the wine with his teeth. So, I'm just saying. Sorry, I had to say that.
Go ahead. I mean, for me, the thing is, she has to take it from him to do it. He can't do it. He's not doing it. He's not accomplishing the mission. He's not accomplishing it. And I'm sorry, I will tell you this, Nick, that is not going to have her water flowing. She is dry because of this. You are not showing her in any capacity that you should be her partner in anything. The awkward silences, all that stuff. And the fact that he can't, she said, I wanted somebody to be handy. He ain't that.
She wants somebody to be like her daddy, and you have to watch out for people, not to cut everybody off, but she's the textbook person who aspires to be very much so like her dad. She and granted, you can want your husband to be like your dad, but she is like her dad, and you don't really give a guy a lot of space to operate and be really masculine in those spaces where you are being like your dad. There's going to be some issues because Nick isn't your prototypical guy, but I think that's why the matchmakers put them together, because she honestly needs to work a little bit, be a little softer. She needs to be a little softer overall, and a little bit softer with whatever tanning she using, the tan in bed, the lotions, whatever it is. She needs to be a little softer with that too. But that's neither here nor there. But Nick is fake and phony, and I understand why she's being insufferable, but Nikki is fake and phony.
Ari?
I think that she liked him until he opened his mouth. Because as soon as he said, I've been on 50 million TV shows, reality TV shows at that, she was like, oh no, what the hell did I just sign up for? And as soon as she realized that he was literally not even close to conservative, because let's be honest, he's not. He's really not. That compounded on it, and I think she's and the fact that he's really not that talkative. Because notice she said, I like the likes of Felipe, who keeps talking and talking and talking in high energy, and he's not anything like that at all. He's not talkative. He was sitting there in front of the producers eyes closed, looked like it was taking a power nap. So, yeah, I think that she is severely cool on him now. And thankfully these marriages are not legal at this point. They might get legal at some point if they decide to maybe go ahead and sign that what is it, the paperwork for it. But thankfully right now they're not legal at this point, so they can call it quits whenever they can, hopefully. But she yeah. I think he actually was. It's just that he's nothing like she wants. Like everyone else was saying, like he's nothing like she wants. And it's just she can't get over it. She can't get over it. She was talking all that smack about him to everybody who would listen. And then it's like, okay, do you really even want to make this work at this point? Because, and then they got in front of Lisa too, or was it Paul? I can't remember, whichever one. But they got, and she was saying a whole bunch of nothing about what she wanted him to do.
Caseyville, she let him try to open the wine bottle first, and she let him try to make the coffee first. She has been letting him go first, and when he comes up short and stubby, she go rush in and actually get the job accomplished.
Even though I do think Nick is here for exposure yet again for another reality TV show, I will give him a small little bone about the espresso machine. Unless you are a barista or someone who uses that every single day, he's not going to know how to use it. Like, I don't know how to use it.
It's in a freaking hotel. It's one button.
I'm assuming it's actually like in Starbucks and stuff like that, like an actual espresso machine.
No.
So, I mean,
you put the pot, you open the top, you put the pot in, close the top, and push a button. Okay. That's it.
Okay.
Come on now. I understand. But it's a Keurig. It's a Keurig single. Okay. I'm sorry. It infuriates me because especially if Nick doing all these reality shows, he's staying in all these hotels. You trying to tell me he ain't learned how to use one single coffee maker?
He went to MIT, brother. Like
he's telling us he's dumb. He's dumb as stumps with that. Like, okay.
Like he should at least.
There's a lot of smart dumb people. There's a lot of smart dumb people. Okay, a lot of smart dumb people.
Fair.
He could probably rewire the machine yet not work it.
Courtney don't want that.
And that's what I was saying. Like, he don't know how to work that thing. Like, leave him alone. Like, leave him alone. Like, gee, let him live. Like, you don't use it every day. He probably goes to like Starbucks to get his coffee made. Like,
I get everybody is gonna be anti-Courtney, and again, she's just insufferable. And one thing about the patriarchy, we don't like insufferable people. So Courtney could definitely, I could ramble about insufferable people. I've done that for seasons and seasons of these reality shows. But Courtney, I actually am glimpsing into how fake and phony Nick is. He wants a People magazine relationship. He wants the marriage to elevate his own prestige. Courtney, she wants a patriot. That's what she should have got a patriot. Her and Devin would have been perfect.
Not Devin? Oh, Devin ain't patriot enough. He ain't patriot enough. Oh, no. Not with them frosted tips. Not with them wide shoulders. No. The only patriot part of him is that rugby playing. That's it.
I feel like the frosted tips are very, very patriot coded.
It is coded, but it is not pure.
Okay. True.
It's coded, but not pure. But Nick needs to stop and I say this in all lightness, stooping to her level, that whole trying to do the physical stuff with her, he knows he's going to lose those challenges. He knows he's not at her level with bodybuilding. And I'm wondering if Courtney wanted something like her parents, where dad is in bodybuilding, mom is in bodybuilding. We are a bodybuilding couple.
She said she didn't want that.
She said she didn't want
Yeah.
that, but I think she wants the connection that has. She keeps talking about them. So while Nick is cerebral, very cerebral, and she is more the physicality, I don't know how these two gonna work at all. But the experts say they're supposed to work. Trey, did you have a chance to talk about them? Go ahead.
This is the true lavender marriage of this season.
Oh, damn, not lavender marriage.
Okay. It ain't the other one what everybody thinking. This is it. This is it. Okay. Start there. Nick, Easton said it correctly. He is a little disingenuous. And he's so good at being disingenuous, he can almost have you convinced that, oh no, I'm here for the right reasons, or whatever. He's had a lot of practice on these shows. So he kind of knows what to say. You know, he's as if you notice, he hasn't really said anything out of the way, has he? Not at all. He's a professional. Okay, he knows what he's doing. Courtney, I'm gonna tell you what her problem is with one word. She is where's the statement? She is the epitome of self-sabotage. She will blow her own spot up because she just can't help it. She will literally talk herself into a hole because she can't help it. She'll dig her own hole because she can't help it. She don't need nobody else help. She don't need nobody else help. And I could clearly see that from the moment she stepped onto the screen. I was like, okay. Because you can't be in one situation saying one thing to a group of people only to switch it up and change up when you get in front of your partner and the expert, this, that, and third. And let me remind you, she did this to herself. She set those boundaries in the beginning about not being touched, this, that, and third. Ooh, I'm a slow burn. I don't want this and that. I want to build this up, blah, blah, blah. And guess what he did? He respected that. Because he said, he was like, I was a little unsure about how to touch you. Should I touch you? Do you want to be physical? Whenever I did try to come in, like when he said he tried to cuddle with her when she's taking a nap, she got all rigid, like, oh, don't touch me. Okay, I'm back the heck up off you then. But then she take that as, oh, he's not initiating enough. I don't know if he actually likes me. What do you expect? You clearly put a wall up from the very beginning of what you say you didn't want physical to happen between y'all two. He's done nothing. This is an ongoing thing. We're gonna hear this with another couple too. He's actually respecting that boundary. He's actually respecting that boundary. Now all of a sudden, he ain't doing enough. Now all of a sudden, oh, I don't think he's interested in me because he's not touching me, this and that third. You're confusing your people, ladies and gentlemen of the chat. This is an example of a delusional woman. She's delusional. Okay? She will convince herself of one thing and then immediately turn around and convince herself it's something else. Not even 5 minutes later. Like, I don't care who you pair her with. This was always going to be difficult to deal with. Always. The whole idea, maybe she should have been paired with Felipe. Felipe wouldn't have, first of all, just to keep it real, he wouldn't have paid her no mind. he wouldn't even look her way. Okay? Number one. Number two, he probably, talk to, he'll shoot the shit. He'll talk to her because I can see where she might be good time talking, having fun, blah, blah, blah. But it's very performative. she wants to be liked so bad by people around her that she will try to make herself the center of attention. Some people can naturally do it. Some people can't. You know what I'm saying? The reason why she latched on Felipe, so if you notice, even though it's it can get annoying at times, Felipe naturally is the center of attention when he walks in the room. He talks to everybody, regardless who's in there, whatever. He's going to stand out, stand in the middle, and start dancing by himself. That's just his personality. He's going to do that. That's not Courteney. But she wants to project that, like that is her. And it's not. You know, what got me was when they had the conversation with the experts, which this was what I was the most excited about this new season coming out. All right, we got some experts. You're going to sit down with it. Finally, some guidance. Whether you like the guidance or not, it needed some guidance here. Let's see what they happen. You could tell on Lisa's face, she knew before she even sat down, she said, yeah, I heard a few things. So I just want to, get together and, and see what it actually is. She knew from the very jump street that Courteney is the problem. And this wasn't the first time this happened with one of the ladies. If you notice, they made sure Lisa had all the problem child females on the season. They made sure of that she's the one that dealt with the problem, like Caitlyn and now Courteney, whatever. She did making sure, and I don't know if she's going to be the one with Nikki and the child, but we'll get to there. But they're making sure that she has the problem child women on the season. Wait.
Oh no!
Don't tell me that was Nick.
That's Nick on Drag Race. People were asking for it in the comment section.
Oh wow!
I went and got it. This is Nick's photo. Being dragified.
Yeah, he is not conservative whatsoever.
I rest my case, Your Honor.
He lied to some people saying that he was conservative as conservative could be. Like, no, that man is anything but conservative.
And Courteney lied because she knew what January 6th was. She lied.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They both lying. I'm not about to say that they ain't both lying. I'm just saying I think Nick is doing a better job of doing a good edit.
Yes.
He's gonna get a better edit. He's gonna be like Alan. He's gonna be like Alan. Everybody was all Alan this, Alan that. And then y'all find out that Alan was just like the rest of us Negroes. Crashing out because he couldn't get done.
I mean, yeah, listen, like I said, Lavender, this is the real one right here, okay? Y'all, everybody worrying about the other one. Nah. I said this first episode. You need to worry about other people before you worry about that one. This one? Yes.
That's the trio.
Oh,
Nick in the middle.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild. I'm not judging, but that's wild. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
I thought he was pit crew till somebody dug it up and showed.
Right. I thought he was like a judge or something, or he was like behind the scenes, and then lo and behold, he's right there.
Yes,
but y'all want to throw all the allegations on the black man.
This is from TikTok. This is from TikTok. So if you want to see even him walking in the heels and doing a twirl, and he ain't half stepping, okay?
Wow.
Let's just say he had practice walking in heels.
He walked better than she do, because Courteney be looking a little. She be walking. She be looking a little. You trying to say he can show a thing or two? What you saying?
He was not the drag queen. Y'all know if you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, the drag queens can have a friend that they bring in that they dragify that friend. Okay. Maybe the friend has never worn drag before and they dragify the friend to look like a relative or sister. That's what he was participating
before. He's been in that before. If he was working them shoes, yeah, he was in it before.
And
Well,
we're
he
not
could have had practice because he didn't want to embarrass himself.
because he got to get for his ready for his next show. You know, he got
That's
to
what
be
I'm
ready
saying.
for
Like
next opportunity.
he had practice already.
We're not
Here's-
saying that this isn't an implication on his preferences or anything like that. I just find it interesting. But you know, like I said, Nick is fake, Courtney is insufferable, and she's got the ick. And we'll see how this plays out.
I'm gonna say it. Nick may be sexually fluid. It is
That
what it is. That's
I
fine.
can actually agree with. He's sexually fluid. I'm not gonna
He
say
may be
anything else
sexually
besides
fluid.
that.
That's him. The problem is, and expert Paul, you know, when you look back, when you understand a lot of things. Expert Paul himself was the one that was talking to Courtney. He was the one he started off asking as well for what we saw in the edit. He started asking certain questions. So, how conservative are you?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
He wanted to see what that barometer was because they knew they was going to put him with a guy like Nick. How conservative are you? Are you January 6th conservative? What's that? What's January 6th? I don't know what that is.
Just lying.
The fake laugh. What the fake laugh for both of them? What? Seriously? Okay. And then they cut the Nick. You have conservative views. Like, yeah, I'm conservative, but I'm not liberal, bro. I'm like, all right, well, Nick, what you talking about? I don't know what you're saying right now. You sound confusing. Now,
They're both confused.
Here's the point. Now, to go to Africa said something earlier. There's a lot of, the black people that are very fluid in other things.
There are people that are fluid and they don't have necessarily a political denomination.
Exactly.
They are fluid people. Just some people are more outwitted than others.
And that's the difference I was about to go to. When they're asking these coded questions, how conservative are you? They're asking just, on what's on the barometer scale do you fall on?
Would you are you okay if your husband wore drag? And sir, are you okay if your woman can bench press you? That's the level of conservative they were looking for. That's all they were looking for. But yes, Paul was diving into that. And but I don't think this is a good match. I don't want to sit here chewing on them because we have 3 other couples that have more issues. And the one couple that I think has got a lot of issues. Because ma'am, how are we catching feelings and he has not been serving you anything? BelleJolie and Mecca. Now we have got Mecca away from his dad. We say dad was problematic. But here we are. I'm catching feelings, ladies. I'm catching feelings. Off of what? And now you ain't chasing no man. Off of what? How are we feeling something? And then he says, oh, well, you feeling me 20 points more. Now, she did not disagree that she was feeling him more. She disagreed by how much. But she's still feeling this man, and I don't understand how. You gave him permission to kiss you and all of the husbandly things, and he ain't even doing that. And he's still calling you best friend. Girl, you best friend. That's it.
It's simple. Anybody who is wearing that kind of necklace and those earrings for their wedding, that's all I needed to see. I knew she was gonna fall head over heels, quick, fast, in a hurry. She was wearing that bedazzled necklace, chest plate, and them earrings. I said, yeah, our good sister, she about to fall head over heels, and the necklace like this ain't. I don't know. I don't know if it's the style or what. I think he kind of got the ick. It's the reverse Devin. She's Devin in this situation, and he's Devin in this situation. And she all over him. And because regardless of what we want to say, I was picking up early on that my brother Devin likes nice things. Although he is a sanitation cleaner and he cleaned on them porta potties and he got his family business, I said, oh, he's wearing some Sean Wotherspoon's Air Maxes. Those are like $900, $1,100 shoes. He got expensive taste. I don't think BelleJolie might and him go mix and match. he's a bit. His dad's weird. He's a little eclectic, and but I think that she likes him far more than he likes her. She's Devin, and the more that she tries and pushes, it's driving him away. And funny enough, he at the beginning, if she would have just kissed him, he would have fell head over heels for her in the beginning.
Hello.
At first, he was in his head, and then after he's like, then when she pushed him away, he got to examine her for all the flaws that he might create in his mind, and that created a wedge. And then she's like, "Oh, I'll serve it up to you warm if you want to. If you want to do it, we can put it on a plate with some milk and cookies." That's what she was saying, basically. I felt so bad. I felt so ashamed for my good sister. I said, "Have some decorum." She said, "Yeah, on this boat, I know we've taken a slow ride here, but if you want it with some milk and cookies late night, I'm willing to do it, and I'll land the plane here."
He got it. He was in his head. Then his daddy got in his head about her not kissing him, and then she got in his head about it afterwards. Now I have granted you permission to kiss, like Trey said before. By now, I don't want your kisses no more. I don't want you no more. We friend. Hey, friend. Hey, best friend. How you doing?
Hey, friend.
It is hey, friend. Can we wear matching clothes?
And he boldly said, "You like me more than I like you." I said, that hurt me in my heart. That hurt me to my heart that he was willing to say it. And then he dumped, because didn't he say like 130 to 60, or what was the number?
150 to 60.
That's almost triple.
It was 150 to 80. Stop it. We ain't putting
150 to 80.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Then he did 60 to 80. And she's like, it ain't 20 points difference. And it's like, she said 63-60. And I'm like, girl, you still like him more. You're still chasing down the sanitation truck. This ain't a good look, girl. This ain't a good look.
Oh, no. Soon as he said, I'm kicking up my friend, my best friend, I was like, this is about to be a meme and a catchy all over again. Because he told her on the honeymoon too, the same exact instance where he called a meme the homie, and she didn't even deny it. That was the funny part. I was like, and she didn't even deny it. BelleJolie didn't even deny it here either. She's like, yeah. That was terrible. And then I get you didn't deny the whole she is more into him than he is to her.
But into what, Ari? Into what?
Okay, let me play here, please. Hush. I just think that she was expecting him to be more into her than she is to him. I mean, maybe in some deep down, she knew that she realized that she was, and that's why she didn't push back at it. But this entire time, I think she's been wanting him to be more into her, because she's probably been seeing all those TikToks of how those men just being clearly not liking the women that they're with, and she's like, well, I want the guy to be more into me, because at least then he'll be nicer to me. So I think that's what she was expecting, but she knows deep down that he's not into it. So yeah, that was crazy work. I was like, that is so mean of him to say. I mean, I was like, child. Anyways,
Trey, are you putting your salmon on that beer cooking sheet when you put it in the oven?
Normally, personally, I would use a small cast iron skillet for this. But if I had to, I would probably put a piece of aluminum foil down, well greased, so it won't stick. But anyway, I have many different avenues how to attack this situation. I got a quite a few. I don't know which one to start with though. I think I'm gonna start with the argument. I'm gonna get Miss Elsa a little upset. Hear me when I say this. Mecca dad was right. As much as we don't like him, Mecca dad was right.
I told you we were going to be arguing today.
Yeah, you know what? And you said that I wasn't gonna do this, but since you felt, I feel like you need it, so I'm gonna argue with you. Mecca dad was right. You know, let me explain why. You said earlier his dad was not helping him; he was hindering him. He put that idea in his head. I don't think he did. I think he knows his son. He know the reason why he brought that question up, because he knew if she was gonna act a little sideways towards him by kiss or no kiss, kiss on the cheek or whatever, he knew his son was gonna be turned off and probably not give that girl a chance. Because the only reason I come to this now, it was how he was acting afterwards. We saw that his dad was doing too much, but if you notice, his dad was steady trying to get in his son, like, hey, no, she fine, bro. Even though it was inappropriate, some of the stuff he was saying. Nah, bro, he was trying to get him started in his head. No, this is good. Leave the kiss on the cheek alone. Don't take it. No. Stay with him, son. This is good. Even telling her somewhat convincingly, oh, no, I'm going to say, yeah, you going to be good with this. He knew how his son was going to act.
After he put those words in his head,
he still knew. Let's put it like this. If I know my son, I probably would have done it on camera, but I think this type person, Mecca, and his father, what's his father's name? Got a weird Logic. Crazy.
Very
I think this man knows exactly who his son is. He was like, no. Once my son gets the ick on somebody, it's done. So that's why he asked at the beginning, hey, how are you going to react if she decides not to kiss you on the lips, but kiss you on the cheek? If you notice how Mecca was acting, he went, I mean, I got to respect it, right? Right? He was asking his friends that specifically. His friends were like, no, this is good. This is cute. She's all good. Good advice. But he asked the question, still trying to get some type of validation for his answer in his head. So that tells me his father knew how his son was going to act. And he was already trying to get ahead of that. Like, nah, bro, hang on. Nah. Yeah, he did feel rejected. Probably did. Now, do I think he's probably asked too much then? Yeah. Now, personally, I think Mecca's a little fluid too. Just a little bit. Leave that where it lay. That might come back up. The funny part is this to me.
Like his father said he was at the wedding, come back up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Come back up. Now here's the funny thing to me. BelleJolie tripped me out this episode. I shouldn't have been laughing like I was, but I was laughing at her. And I shouldn't have been. I felt bad afterwards. But during the moment, I was laughing. Let me tell you why. When this woman said, this young lady said, she when they went to the whole conversation, and actually they was having a very deep conversation about stuff. It seemed like Mecca wasn't paying attention, but he was, because he was responding actually in kind, so he was listening. This man can do two things at the same time. That's what that showed you. And be funny. It's kind of a rarity. So also be careful with that, because that's going to come back up too. That man is listening to what you're saying and remember. In her little confessional, when he told her accurately about how attracted they were to one another, which I find funny in itself, because she asked the question. She brought it up because she was already feeling the way. And before I get at this, Belle, this is your fault. Okay? I'm going to tell you why it's your fault. Nah, this ain't crazy. I said this last week. And I've been saying it again this week with a couple of couples. You set the boundaries for this in the very beginning. She set a very hard boundary with him. Told him about her boundary. Becca said, bet. I respect that boundary. Has done nothing to cross or disrespect said boundary. Now all of a sudden, because her attraction level went instantly from 0 to 150%. Now she's ready to give up draws. Let's just call it what it is. But he's cool on her already. Because that's going to look confusing to most men. You can't tell me I believe in this and my boundaries and third. Okay, boom. And then not 5 days later, well, actually 2 days later, you wanna tell me.
You want to jump my bones.
Yeah, you want to tell me, hey, it's okay, touch my booty, blah, blah, blah. Hold on, bro, wait a minute.
Because you've been respectful right now.
Okay, keep it respectful.
Thus far.
You keep it respectful.
So now we can go a little bit further. I can tell you exactly what is acceptable.
You can't tell him that. You can't tell him that.
It's on the person to create the boundary.
Exactly. She's going to have to initiate.
It's not only initiate.
She's going to have to initiate with something she don't want to do. And that's her problem.
We can't do that. Now, I know the sisterhood want to love on BelleJolie, but she's in her own way in this case. If she would have
set this up,
she knew
set it up.
She knew she was feeling the man from the get-go, but what did she do?
Get-go. Play her little game. She played a little game.
She did, and this is what
now she winning stupid prizes. Now, here's where the funny thing. Now, I'm sorry. Here's where it gets funny to be at. Okay, when I hate to say, you know what? I'm gonna trigger everybody tonight. She went black girl magic on us. Oh no, he didn't. No, he did not say I'm 150% over. He said, "Is he crazy? He ain't about to have me chasing after the man." I'm sorry, Belly. I'm tell you right now. Guess what you're doing? You're chasing after this man, and you've been doing this since day one, and it's going to continue. Why? Because you like him like that. It is what it is. You can talk all that mess you want to. Guess what you are currently doing in front of our face? Chasing this man. You're chasing him. We're watching you do it. No matter what you say, that's exactly what you're doing. You're chasing this man. And he knows you're chasing, and he's going to let you do it too. He's going to let you do it. And it ain't going to stop. Now, here's the funny rub of it all. Why? I think she is going to get the soul pole.
That's going to make her go deep. That's going to make her fall.
Oh, my God.
She going to fall head up.
Oh, my God.
And he cooks too?
That by itself, she was already like, yes. I know. Just don't ask me how I know. Listen, I'm telling you, he was doing too much with the. That was a little too much.
Can the lady you're cooking for sit on the same counter that you're cooking on?
Yeah, as long as she off to the side down in my actual prep area, she was fine.
She said no bare cheeks on the cooking area.
Well, it wasn't bare cheeks.
No, it wasn't bare cheeks. I just don't like you've been sitting elsewhere and then you put your derriere on my counter. I don't like it, but that's just me.
I'm not pretending OCD like Nikki. Even though I am OCD, I'm not pretending OCD. You can sit on the counter over here. She stays sitting right there. I stay cooking, prepping over here, doing what I got to do. Yeah, all this was just a little too much. Anybody doing all that.
Trey, the question is, what has she done to show that she's chasing him?
What hasn't she done?
Yeah, I know. This is
like she's shown so many choosing signals as a dude. Okay, so one easy one is like a lot of times women will operate in plausible deniability and in the gray area. When you tell me, oh, the milk and cookies are ready to go and that you can grab them at any time, that's already letting me know. I know that's already letting me know that you feeling me and that we
and she kissing up all his face and neck and everything. Remember?
She thinks that's a lot. She thinks she's doing a lot with that. She's actually not.
She's not. If I'm in Mecca's shoes and you done told me you've had these hard, stagnant boundaries,
you put a hard boundary.
You're gonna have to pull my pants down. Something.
You're gonna have to grab my. You're gonna have to
do, gentlemen. Okay.
You're gonna have to do what.
It's 2026.
I hate to say this. I hate to say it like this, but you. In this case, it will actually work. You're gonna have to do what Ikiche to try to have Mim do last season. grab him up and
you know that energy. That's the energy that she gotta show.
You gotta do this. There ain't no choice in the matter.
She gotta rip the honey pack open with her teeth. Is that
bingo,
what you're saying?
Bingo bongo.
Okay.
Because this man, he is the listen. This boy listened to way too much drink. Okay, he is the type of man. I'm being dead serious with this. Okay, he is the type of man to let you play the fool to chase after him. Okay,
Drake.
Yes.
Also,
the whole floor.
Also, another caveat that I always find interesting when we have these discussions with black men is that his first wound, I guess, as a child or as an adolescent, is with his mom.
Abandonment by women.
Abandonment by women. We don't always talk about this, but it is something that happens all the time. Is when your first op in the world is a black woman. We don't really get to see it.
Your mother, not a black woman. Your mother.
Your mother
and your stepmom.
And your stepmom.
That's crazy.
I think we don't talk about it, and it just happens to be a black woman. So that shifts how you perceive all relationships going into the future with women who might look like that, or it might be along those same lines. Again, I ain't giving Mecca a lot of passes because I think he's being a little passive, and if he needs to be just a little bit more honest. But if I'm in his shoes, if I'm in his shoes, I'm not going to take another step forward unless you are the person who's initiating and making sure that all of this is in the clear. It's 2026. You're not fisting.
Bring up to go Africa's point here, because this is actually very important, and you're right. Is the problem is in this instance, in this experiment, the way they do things, it doesn't work. Because look at the timeline. What happens? You just met me, sight unseen, get married. Okay, that's crazy by itself. You tell me straight up. For first, we go for the kiss. Okay, give me the cheek. All right, cool. I know what time it is. We go actually have a conversation, and you set clear boundaries. I'm a slow burn too. That's what she said to herself. I want us to get to know each other, this and that and third, before we get physical. Okay, bet. Now I'm on that wavelength with you. If I like you, okay. If I like you, I'm gonna rock with that, right? Now, the moment you start moving differently from what you have set for, I have to look at you differently now. It wasn't 2 days later, not even really a day later, she was trying to give him signals to jump up on us. I'm sorry. Any man, I would tell, pause on that for a second right there.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Pause on that. Whoa. That's too quick of a turnaround. Okay? If it was out in the real world, you know how this would actually go? If she put that boundary in, okay, they've been dating for the way she's acting, even she like him, the way they probably be dating actively for about 2, 3, 4 weeks at the most. And then
4 days.
Yeah. I'll put it in weeks time, or a day a week or whatever. About a month later is when she'll be like, okay, let's get this started. And he'll be like, okay, cool. This is a pressure cooker situation here. This is a pressure cooker. You have to be very careful about what kind of boundaries you set with your new partner you just met. And I'm saying this to a man and women. You got to be very careful what type of boundaries you set, because that's what you're going to be held to. Okay? You're going to be held to that. And every little thing in this particular situation, every little thing that you do is going to be scrutinized. Even a kiss on the cheek.
Trey, at the same time, while he knows that they're both strangers to each other, and she can't have that hard boundary with a stranger, I think that he also needs to leave room for her for when the time is that she says the flower is blossoming. It is time. I am open to more with you.
Oh, he's leaving. But you can't do it this soon. That's the problem. I'm saying
I understand. It can't be 2 days later and she's talking to the ladies about I'm catching feelings for my husband.
It was a day later. She was like, "Yeah, you come and touch on me." Whoa.
Yeah, it's on the person who created the boundary to break down the boundary and initiate. It's never on the initial initiator or the person who's perceived. And in this power structure, is typically the man who's supposed to be the initiator. If there's hard set boundaries, the boundary setter has to cross those boundaries and initiate. If not,
invite me to come over ain't gonna help. I'm sorry.
She is inviting him. She's giving him permission. She is verbally telling him, "You." And
it's not enough.
You can kiss me when you want to. He is doing these things, but
he's doing that.
It sounded robotic. It sounded like he's going off of a list of what she says is permitted and not being naturally, affectionate physically to his partner.
This is why I said, be careful. This man is listening to exactly what you say and executing as such. She told him, "Hey, you can do this, do that, do third," and that's exactly what he started doing. Yet he's still holding back on it.
LC, I would agree with you if she pulled a mem and she tried to initiate it with a catch, like how she initiated. Now, if there was something like along those lines where it was like, oh, he was resistant or he pushed away or he had some weird feelings against it, I'd be 100%. But it's on you as the boundary setter to cross those boundaries and get it popping with the perceived initiator. You can't be like, I'm setting these boundaries, then I'm gonna hint at you, I'm a drop these breadcrumbs so you can come and jump across these boundaries. Because then if something goes wrong, then I already set the boundaries. I already set them.
We can't even, we're not even holding hands. We're not even, sitting next to each other on the daggone couch.
That's what happened.
To me, that's why I felt like it was a list. Like she said, I could smack her booty. That's what I'll do. She said I can kiss her. That's what I'll do. But I'm not going to do anything outside of that because again, he doesn't want to be seen as going beyond her boundaries. But they need the experts, as someone said.
He's still following her boundary.
Yeah, okay? And we're being really rigid with this
right.
I get what we're saying, but I
feel like rigid because she was rigid in the beginning of it.
She liked the man. Why
the rigidness?
If you come on a show, we can't have revisionist history. You came on a show where you married somebody sight unseen. Now you want to have all these rules, bylaws, boundaries, and then in the back of your head, you like, I really want to do this with this person. You set it up that way. Now you mad we playing by these rules.
How she should initiate? She should initiate a conversation with the experts present. I think this is salvageable. I think they are missing each other. I think that they are coming from a need, and as you said, her issue at first was the father. I felt for her, him, the abandonment, but not by one but two mothers. I feel for him. I think these two definitely can make it work. They just need the expert help that I'm loving that this season has couch sessions. They have couch sessions with the experts. I'm thinking they may have, just tripped a little bit, but they're not as far beyond. I just don't want them to set sail so far away from each other that they can't come back from it. They can't.
We have to be very careful with this because he also seems like the type of person. If it may happen during the expert talk when they talk about this, he's given the type of person that he also doesn't want to feel like he's being pressured into something, and he seems like the type to throw that up as a defense.
We over here trying to like create these scenarios and theories. Things would have been just how she wanted them if she would have just went with her heart and her feelings, but she didn't want to. She wanted to have the boundary.
That could have been her heart and feeling. But again, Easton, you're not understanding. This is a strange man. She is marrying.
He's different. Okay.
I'm all for it being an experiment, but I'm saying everybody, you either got to have it like I've always said, it's either an experiment and we is doing this new thing and it's completely taboo and it doesn't follow under the same traditional bylaws that we do when people get married, or you gonna keep it under the guise of it's like somebody in a long-term relationship and people get married. I like to think of it as an experiment. But people like to use traditional marriage rules and bylaws and stuff like that. Some stuff is going to be expedited.
Some of it will be expedited, yes. Some of it you are going to hold firm to the fact that even though you're marrying this person, they are a stranger. You've never met this man. You're expected to share a room with this man. And we won't get into production getting these one-bedroom apartments later. Okay.
I hope none of these people have ever had a one-night stand ever in their life. Because like,
but it could be. I don't care if she had one-night stands before this. If this is the way she wishes to continue and start this relationship, as Trey said, there's going to be repercussions for how you start and how you're going to try to continue.
My total thinking for this is I understand where Bella was coming from in the very beginning, but I partially think it may have been done for the wrong reasons. Maybe too much of an altruistic reason. The reason what I'm saying is, let's keep it real. She set that boundary about not, when her girlfriends asked her, are you going to kiss them, this and that third? She set these hard boundaries in the beginning because she doesn't want to be portrayed to a certain type of way. Understood.
On TV.
Yes, especially on TV. Understood. I actually respected that from the very beginning. But and it's sad to say this, I knew what was about to happen as soon as she showed up and saw him. Because he is an attractive man. I said, oh God, she's going to set these boundaries and then immediately throw him out the window. And that's not going to work in this particular situation.
And she's an attractive girl. Very attractive.
We're not saying that she's not.
But what I'm saying is, yes, she may have seen him and see his attractiveness and was goo goo gaga, but she is also very much so high up in the marketplace. So I'd like to dive more into how she views herself. Remember, she said as soon as she started the process, she was doing a lot of, self-reflection and therapy and preparing for this. But my biggest issue with BelleJolie is that she wants the fairy tale, and I gotta tell you, girl, fairy tales were written by flawed people. Mm-hmm. You got to work on your relationship. The fairy tale, head in the clouds. I'm gonna need you to come down to earth, young lady. This is doable, but you scare me every time you say you want your fairy tale. And when you want a fairy tale, you're looking for a Prince Charming. And if this man does not line up with the princely narrative you have, you may be getting rid of a good man because he is not the princely character that you're looking for.
But she's convincing herself that he is, though.
And he is not. I'm not giving him no bail.
I'm not told yet.
He's not the best.
She is convincing herself like, oh my God, they chose so great. This is my Prince Charming. He's respectful. The only thing he has not done is jump her bones. That's it. Everything else she is like she loves about him up at this point. That's why it's that old saying. We've heard women say this. I've never agreed with it, but good Lord Almighty, they put this on TV right in front of our faces. I've heard women say all my life to tell other women this bad advice, but they say you never want to like a man more than he likes you, or you want that man to like you more than you like him. I've heard women say this, and they're giving us an example of this, or how detrimental it could be to women. Right in front of our faces.
However your relationship works with whoever likes who more, that's on you. I ain't going to tell, because some days I like you more and some days you like me more.
Well, that's the real life of it all. That's the real life of it all, Elsie. But a lot of people live in the little land out here.
Live in fairy tale land. Y'all, we have more. We have two more couples to go to. Ari, did you have did you have your say with these two? Because we've been chewing on it as much as Devin been chewing his food.
Yeah, no, I have my say, but no, I'm not mad at Easton and Trey's, and sorry for the bad pun, but logic here. I wasn't trying to do that, but I mean, hey, that's my whole spiel, is that if the logic is sound to me, I can agree with it, and I'm not mad at their logic at all. So that's all I'll say about that, and let's move on.
Well, as y'all were talking about it, that we're seeing the opposite sides of what we're usually told. It is very different for me for a woman to get post-nut clarity. And it seems to me that Tori got post-nut clarity with Felipe. But I thought she had clarity before she even laid down with him. I thought her dog was going to get a bite out of his behind when he was over her on the couch. But it's, ladies, help me out here. There's two reasons you're going to need space. Either the D was trash, or the D was excellent and you did things you never thought you would do. But I think Tori's on the first instance. I'm sorry. Okay. Felipe, certainly thinks he's high up on a totem pole when the woman in the restaurant just want him to cover their bill, not necessarily cover them. Okay.
Free bread. That's all they want.
Exactly. They want a free bill. So, Ari, what did you think about these two? Because Tori in the living room, she has put herself on the couch. Remember back in the day when they used to have 2 bedrooms and at least the spouse could go into the other bedroom? Whatever happened to that? Did the budget fall through?
Yeah, because he got too many couples on here,
And
and
you
then
know how rich
saying,
is?
yeah,
What?
yeah, they have 7 couples they gotta accommodate, and plus those 2 extras are probably not cheap at all. So, anyways, I don't think Tori was into Felipe as much as she was claiming, and that might be a hot take. And I'll say because of the fact that every single time she even tried to give that man a compliment, the volume of her voice went drastically down. And to me, that seemed like, do you not want anybody to know that you're giving this man a compliment? Because why else is the volume of your voice going to basically either non-existent or a whisper? That seemed weird to me. I don't know about anybody else, but that seemed weird to me. So when she had that severe post-nut clarity, I wasn't surprised. I was not surprised. So I was like, yeah, that tracks. That tracks. Yeah, he in there asleep. She don't even know. Like, I don't think he even knows she gone.
That means we laid together and I laid there still enough to wait till you sleep. And then I made my move to leave.
And he probably thought he did so well that he just went straight to sleep. That he did so good he went straight to sleep. So
it was 2 hours.
Still, he thought he did so well. It's like he felt like he was just doing the dang on thing, and so he was like, "This is good." So I'm gonna roll over and go to sleep. So I mean,
what do you think about putting a Catholic with an atheist?
What he said, all a baptism is putting the kid in water. I was like, that is diabolical. I was like, they are so wrong for this. I was like, I think that was part of her problem too. Not gonna lie, now I think of it, I think that was part of her problem. She was like, really? And when they kissed, like they kissed, but they put all they did was push their lips together, and that was it. There was like no moving of the lips around each other's and sliding their tongues into each other's mouths or nothing like that. That looked dry as anything, that kiss. I was like, okay, I guess if you like it, then I guess. But yeah, I mean, At the the only thing I could give them is that they're at least having conversations. It's just that it's not going that well in her favor. I don't think so.
No, the conversation Felipe is having. Remember when she said her ex cheated on her? His question was, "How did you find out?" Now, how did you feel about it?
No,
How
I'm
did
not
you
talking about
find
that.
out?
I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the fact that they're talking about religion.
I understand, but he asked some interesting questions that tells me he want to know how best to cheat in quiet.
You said it, not I. So, anyways, I'm like the other two go.
Yeah. Felipe is a former big guy, unattractive person who got a little bit more attractive, and how he be gassing it up. You would have thought he added 5 points to his. He was already a 5, and he done added 5 more points. That's how he comes across as. But he's the type of person who, you know, and I revert back to my nerdiness in the old Pokemon games. If you had a Pokemon that was a couple too many levels ahead of how many badges you had, they wouldn't listen to what you would do. He's not equipped for Tori. Tori is a level 80 Charizard, and he ain't even made it past Pallet Town or Viridian City. My boy is at the beginning of the game, and he's still operating under that mind frame, and that's his biggest issue. He doesn't have the battle experience or the Pokemon to handle what Tori is throwing at him. And when she realized,
is she throwing it at him?
Or, well, I won't say throwing it at him, but she gave him a chance because I think that she's willing to see the process through, and she regrets it. And that's the problem. Is Felipe on paper looks great, but his inside, he hasn't done the work internally. He's like most people. When you get broken up with, or you have a bad breakup, or something happens, instead of doing the work internally and with your emotions, you go to hit the gym. You get you a 6-pack, but you still that same broken person that whatever traumatic experience happened to. And so I think Felipe, he has a lot of false confidence. He can work a room, which is good. He keeps saying he looks great, but Tori sees right through it. And once they had that little moment, she regrets it. And so it's going to be a slow burn. She's going to have a little bit of contempt. And so she's going to use little things like the religion thing to kind of kill this thing off. She's gonna find a couple more of these moments where they don't agree, and then she's gonna over exaggerate it. And then that's how she's gonna kill off this relationship.
Good point, niece. She may have the Catholic or the Christian guilt after having relations with him. Trey, please hammer, don't hurt him.
Nah. This is gonna be a surprise for y'all. I think we are putting a little too much on Tori's. Put too much dip on Tori's chip. A little too much. Let me tell you why. I started this last week about Tori. But we have to, since Easton brought this up, and I think it's a good point, we have to bring this up again. Like Easton just said, Felipe was a heavyset dude until recently, then he had him a little glow up. So now he's feeling himself. Y'all forgot, I said this last week, Tori was in the same boat. Okay? Tori was a regular, average-looking girl until she got her Kim K starter kit. Okay? Her and Felipe are actually on the same level. They're actually on the same level. They both never left Palatine. Well, let me stop. I think Tori left Palatine about a couple of weeks before Felipe did. That's probably like 2 years time, 2-3 years time.
She in Cerulean City. She in Cerulean.
Yeah. You know why I say this? It's because how Tori, she brought up the fact of her ex, and obviously that ex had a lot of money, and I think that was her first experience with a guy that had a lot of money too.
She's also letting him know what she expects. She expects the place, the car, the key, and the girlfriend credit card.
But my point is, it's a new expectation. She just got that expectation because of her new face, new body, and she first had her first experience with a baller. But she also got treated a certain type of way with that baller as well. She's not realizing things go hand in hand, but you got to talk about that another day. Post-nut clarity is funny. who said it earlier about the Catholic thing? I felt like that was it, instead of actually having real personal clarity. Because this is a woman, she seems to be cares a lot about her faith. Okay. And to me, the most alarming thing that she heard about Felipe was the fact that he was an atheist. Or at least he called himself one.
And he's a cheater.
That too. But the way she was talking, she's one of those chicks that feels like all men are cheaters, which is untrue. But the way she was talking, that's how she was coming off as. She just is, she still wants some monogamous and, faithful man, but she has it in her head that all men are just like that. So some of the content clues she was given. So this actually is a very intelligent girl that hasn't healed yet from some of the trauma she's been through. And Felipe ain't too far behind himself. Now, I said this last week. The moment Felipe saw her, he went on, oh, I got to shake the heck up to her. And I meant that, and I think he's actually serious about that. Yeah, he's going to do all that he can to make this work. The problem is going to be with Tori. Now, I'll say this. A lot of what happens, especially with the personal clarity, if it is personal clarity, because since we're all convinced that it is, this makes it worse on Tori because she set herself up for this. She specifically said herself, which I think was cap. She specifically said herself, oh, it wasn't that it was good. It wasn't that. It was actually great. I just felt strange. I just needed to get out of the room. I felt claustrophobic, this and that. And third, she's going to go down on the ship to not make Felipe feel bad that maybe the sex was bad. Instead of being honest, like, you know what? It wasn't that great for me. If that is true or not. But what she is about to be given, she ain't about to admit that it was personal clarity at all. So she's going to down this hill. This is why I said she kind of set herself up for a little bit of failure here. If that is the truth of it all, it was personal clarity. She ain't about to admit to that. To anybody, to Felipe or the experts, and I can tell right now, I can see the experts trying to dig into that to see if it is or not.
Oh yeah, they dig it.
And she's gonna get flustered. She's gonna get flustered.
She already flustered.
This is why I said she caused this, and she's digging her own hole. When she did that, she came out the room. I saw the footage. I was like, oh, dang. My first thought was a limp noodle. It happens. She wasn't feeling it. Okay, she had to get up out of there. Then she had her little confessional. Like I said, the confessional did not help. I was like, oh God, why did you say that? Because the first thing she said, it wasn't him. It wasn't anything he did. It was actually, it was nice. It's pretty good. We had a great time. I just felt weird and this and that. I was like, all right, is this cap or are you just trying to spare everybody feelings when really you're not? It's not going to help. So I can kind of already see how this is about to go.
Gentlemen, how would you feel if your girl did that after you think you laid it down and 2 hours later she leaves the bedroom and decides to go sleep on the couch?
Oh, so I did something wrong. It's something wrong. Listen, I'm too grown for this. I feel like we are too grown people to be playing these
29-year-old Trey. Okay.
Oh, him at 29? He hurt.
Yeah, he don't have the battle experience, but he needs to talk. They need to have a good discussion because he's probably thinking either I really did an amazing job or 2, I did a terrible job. And either way, that isolation without there being some rectification is going to cause him all kinds of heartache and pain. So, at 29, I don't think I would have the courage to tackle this head on. But I would recommend, if anybody is listening or if there's anybody in that situation, to communicate afterwards, because you don't want a Will and Brittany situation from last season or anything like that. And you know how that turned out. So we need to communicate.
I just don't want that Tori felt that she had to give up the cookie. because we saw the evening. Production was building it up for us. We saw them canoodling. We saw it progressing. And is it that you feel like you can't put the brakes on it from the living room? So when you get into the bedroom, you feel like I got to capitulate. I'm just hoping that's not it, because I will tell you, gentlemen, there's some women who feel that pressure to perform that is expected of them, and they don't know how to say and shut the gates and say, well, you know what? No, I don't want to. And I'm hoping that is not the case. I'm not putting this on Felipe. I'm not putting this, on Tori. I'm just saying that sometimes that is the case of you feel like it's an expectation. So you just do it, and then you feel like I shouldn't have done this.
I'm rocking what you else said, but again, you're hopping on a show that is the premise is like you're getting married to somebody sight unseen. I think we've seen enough seasons that it should go without saying that. Again, you can have agency and have boundaries and do whatever you want to do, but there is going to be an overarching pressure by probably the spouse that you're potentially or that you're going to marry, and by production, that there's going to be some level of heightened intimacy a lot, and that's going to be expedited. And you should, that's why I don't feel bad for people who come on the show and then things end up going one way or another, because you should already know in the back of your mind something like there's going to be pressure from.
It's going to be pressure.
It's going to be pressure either way. And so if you come on this show and you don't want to do it, perfectly fine with me, but just know that there's going to be pressure from one person or the other within the
for men and women. We just see with women a lot more.
We just on Mecca. Yeah, we just on Mecca.
Yeah, Mecca. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's going to be some pressure on that side. Somebody, production. They having a conversation with, hey, why don't you, it seems like Belly is getting more open. Signals. Why don't you, have more intimate moments? What's going on? Yeah, there's going to be pressure. All over.
And for someone not used to dealing with that pressure, you may feel the pressure to perform. Actually just sleep with him and get it over with. I'm sorry to say it like this, but some ladies do it. Just sleep with him, get it over with, so he could roll over, go to sleep, and stop bothering me. I'm sorry. That sometimes happens, but we don't know with these two. I'm hoping they have a conversation, but they need the experts. I
would say, to answer the question fully earlier, the older you get as men, the more you realize, listen, you ain't about to be, you're going to have bad moments of performance. It's going to happen in your lifetime. Yeah, when we were younger, it is more of an ego thing. Because we understand, man, you can't have a bad performance. Oh my God, it's terrible. What's wrong with you, bro? Real quick.
We gonna ask that. What's wrong with you, bro?
Which is kind of crazy because, listen, I've been in situations where she just wasn't there, and I just wasn't performing. It happens. It happens.
This is not Messy Member Monday. We do. We
ain't telling that story, Trey. I ain't telling the story. I'm just saying it happens. Sometimes you physically don't mesh.
This is the time that I say my Messy Member Monday tomorrow night is about limp noodles. Okay, just so we know. So
either way, I think
stay out of my notes, Trey.
Either way, I think that Felipe and Tori, they both lying to each other. They
are, and I think Tori is lying to herself. Not necessarily to him, but to herself, that she could actually, live with this man. But hey, they could, as someone said, they do seem compatible, but I don't know if Tori's really feeling him.
Like I said last week, this is still the only couple that I can almost see that it may work. It may. Okay. Now this is definitely a hiccup. What happened this week? Oh God, that's a hiccup.
Well, we're going to go on to the last couple. Give me a moment, y'all. Give me a moment. Y'all, Nikki and Shawn is our last couple. Ding, 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 ding. This is the main event. And I need to ask a question because I had to replay it over and over again. Why are we here?
Put me down with food in her mouth. What?
Why are we tonguing a man down with food in our mouth? First of all, ladies, is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing out here? I'm sorry. Is that how we share food? Now I got to rethink getting on Adam with handing her the beef in his hand.
That was very Caucasian activities.
Are we sharing food mouth to mouth? What are we doing? I just was like, no. But here's the thing. Here's where I'm saying I'm going here, y'all. I'm going here. We don't see everything in this show.
Oh no, we ain't got.
And here's my thing. I do not want to think that Nikki is like BelleJolie. Nikki is actually kissing this man off camera, and he's looking wild on camera. Shawn, it started off real wild, asking about 69 kisses. Can I have a kiss? This group of episodes, Shawn has pulled back. Shawn has pulled back so much that he ain't even showering properly. Okay. Shawn is not asking about any kisses. Shawn ain't bring up a single 69. Shawn is now interviewing her for the title of wife, which is its own problem. Here's the thing. These both of them, the ego is big. The ego is big with these two, and they are both shining bright. And who gonna want to outshine the other? But it's giving me that we should not be together on this. Nikki looked like she wanted to put him back on the couch because he had that whole bath. She ain't with it. Whether he had a 3-minute bath and he's still sweating, don't come into the bed without having a shower. Shawn, if you're doing anything in social media, please come out here and tell the people that that was not the only bath you had for the day before you went into the bed. Now, Nikki, I know what you're also doing. Nikki was in that shower long, hoping that Shawn would fall asleep. She was hoping he'd be asleep by the time she got out. I knew, because that's what I was hoping too. I've been there. But Shawn, I saw you pull back, but you pull back in a manner that now she doesn't think she's being handled gently. Now, Nikki, here's my point with you. You don't want to be interrupted, but you keep on interrupting him. You want to be heard, but you're not hearing him. And when he turns the card on you, saying, okay, you're validating me, what are you validating? You had no answer because he kept cutting him off. I think these two, the egos are big, the personalities are big, and we can't see past it. We can't see past it. And I don't think they can work, unlike what I said with the other couples. I don't think this can work, but what this can do is be a teaching experience, because both of them, y'all are both in your 40s and grown. Y'all are in my age group. No marriage, no children, no prospects, but married at first sight. I need y'all to understand the level of real estate you are. Both of you. You're not married at all, except he had married at first sight. I need y'all to take the dip and slide it completely off your chip and learn to listen and understand each other. At least be friends throughout this. What we don't need is grown Black folk acting out on each other on this daggone television. That's what we don't need. I'm sorry. Easton, go ahead.
Look, I know that we're off the tailwinds of Love Island, and everybody was, the sisterhood was back in Anaya, and we seem like the sisterhood is rolling into the Mecca and BelleJolie situation, and they really coming real hard for Shawn and Nikki. Let's be a little bit more like, let's be sensible about this. Does she like Shawn? I'll start with all the Shawn's flaws. Does Shawn come on strong? Is Shawn leading with sex? Is Shawn leading with his accomplishments? Is Shawn maybe not what Nikki wanted from a physical standpoint? Is Shawn doing a little too much? Is Shawn a little bit sassy? I don't like that one, because I've been the every season, every show, I see a bunch of women say that the black dude is sassy. I'm not here to say that he's the most masculine guy, but I have a hard time thinking that he would come on a show when he's a public figure in his community college and he's a working professional. Maybe he's doing it to push his prestige, but I have a hard time thinking that he would come on a show, get engaged and married to somebody just to get engaged and married to somebody who he's not attracted to because of their sex. I don't buy it. I get it that he has a big ego and he leads with all of his successes, but they're a twin. Everybody said they're twins. They're just alike. Nikki don't like that man. She never liked that man, and we got to stop being like we want to be like, oh well, Shawn did this and he pulled off the gardener. She never liked the man. Like, that's the original sin. She looked at that man at the altar and it's like she thought this was Pastor Cal 2.0. She was never gonna give it a try. Everything that she's done up until this point has been a boundary to continue to move this whole relationship away. Let's think about it. The 5 weeks, she went ahead and said, hey y'all, we doing 5 weeks. He didn't even agree to this, but he just wanted, he didn't have no say so. It wasn't like he was gonna be like, oh no, I want 3 weeks, let's negotiate. You say 5, I want 2, let's meet in the middle for 3. She's setting all these boundaries up, and she's coming across as she's using a lot of HR speak. She's protecting herself and her image and how she is going to be perceived, while it makes Shawn look like he is the overly freaked out unk that's a little bit sassy. Ma'am, Nikki, you on this show too for a reason. Shawn's on the show for a reason. You on the show for a reason. And as beautiful as you are, I think that you actually kind of like him a little bit. I think you're starting to like him a little bit. And what you're doing is, it's like when the pretty girl, it's like Love Don't Cost a Thing. You know, y'all seen Love Don't Cost a Thing with Christina Milian and Nick Cannon? She didn't like the dude. It was a arranged relationship, and then she started to like him, and then it wasn't like it. Then it became an issue because his hair got too big. I think that she's starting to like him, or at least like just the proximity is starting to like rub off on her. But she's not gonna do it because she got all her friends, and this is not what she signed up for. This is not what she bought in for. And so I'll land the plane with, before we get on Shawn, I know he's a whole bunch of issues, but Nikki never liked this man in the beginning, at least physically. I think that he might be growing on her, and maybe I think that, because I don't think that Shawn's lying. She did when he pressed her about the food in the mouth and the tongue. She didn't say nothing that like, oh, why you lying on me? She didn't say that. She didn't even really defend herself. She was just like shocked that all the stuff is coming to the public's eye. I think she's doing a lot of stuff behind the closed doors, but we'll see. We'll see.
We think that may be the case. She did say she's a sapiosexual. He
that
does
was
have
too.
He does have. Then she lied to the experts. He does have the education. Okay, realizing that he can talk the elevated topics that she wants to talk. But I think she was put off at first by his overly, suggestive conversations. Now, y'all, while we're talking about that in the comments, remember, I hate to put you in this category, Shawn, but again, remember, Shawn said he was repressed as a preacher's kid. His first encounter was 21, and the next time was 28. He's still running around like he a 20-something-year-old now, starting to kick it with girls. I'm sorry. The way he describes his past, it's like that. And I know he's an overeager beaver. He is an overeager beaver. It's like, oh, we married now, so let's get it all going. Remember, he's the one talked about a honeymoon baby. No, sir. Pump the brakes. Listen to your uncle/mentor that say you need to slow your roll. And all of you calling Shawn sassy, I hope you all are still calling the expert Paul, who is just as gentle as Shawn is in how he talks. I hope you're calling the expert Paul, who I don't want to be here in the first place. He needs to stay in the UK with the nonsense that MAFS UK was doing. But again, Shawn is extremely late bloomer, extremely late, and he needs to pump the brakes. Yes, he pumped it a little bit. We didn't hear him ask for kisses. We didn't help him push for stuff this group of episodes, but he needs to pump the brakes a little bit more. He needs to pump the brakes unless he gonna cohabitate with the couch.
5
He
weeks is a
gonna
little excessive,
cohabitate
though.
with the couch more.
5 weeks is excessive, though.
You cannot say 5 weeks is excessive if this is her boundary.
Right.
The excessiveness was making the decision without telling him. Sean, straight up, not what do you think about Sean? My preference is not to be intimate for 5 weeks. That is my preference. And he would have gone with
what
it.
Sean said. He said we talked about it, and I was fine with discussion, but I didn't know that it was automatic agreement because she went off and just started telling people, "Yeah, we agreed on this." No way, no, we had a discussion about it. No one agreed to anything. But it's nice to know that you finally made the decision. Okay, cool.
Right.
That's all he said.
Right, and
Now,
then and then with the other man, the second time that they were talking or met up, or I don't remember which one. It's always a blur, but regardless, when they met up, whichever time, he said, "Well, where's it gonna end? Because what if she starts making final decisions about finances, everyday decisions?" It could be even religion. I don't know if they will talk about religion or if they have and we just didn't see it, or what, but it could be she could make unilateral decisions later on, and that's what he was concerned with. So,
but again, I will give her this. She is 46 years old making unilateral decisions. When you are either one of them, either person, when you are a single person and you are still single all the way to your 40s or even 30s, and you have been living alone, making your own decisions about your life constantly, it is sometimes hard for some to pivot and start considering another person in all of this. Yes, she should. That is her spouse, but sometimes it's hard to make that change and consider another person. But she needs to be honest too. I'd rather wait because she telling us I never been with someone who had a dad bod without being a dad. She's not attracted to him physically.
That's all I'm saying.
But then telling him to take off his shirt for us to see what she's not attracted to. And I'm like, Nikki, you ain't got to do all that.
She's setting us up to give us reasons why why it's okay and more acceptable for her to opt out of the relationship and check out of it. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the 5 weeks. Okay, cool. You can have your own boundaries, but why? I find it interesting. Like that's the entirety of the experiment. So basically, you saying, "Hey, during this experiment, I don't want us to do nothing intimate." I'm holding a boundary there. I find it seems disingenuous. It seems like what you're doing is I'm going to have all of these different layers and boundaries so that Sean has to jump through all these hoops. And then ultimately through all of that, you're going to see that this is why he's problematic and I shouldn't be with him. When in reality, she's just not physically attracted to him. Just be honest.
Right. Don't, no, I'm not a doctor. Don't put me out here like Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, please. But, I do have a master's, nothing in psychology, but here's the thing. I don't, with the people, and y'all have your opinion. If y'all have been around me long enough, Love is Blind, Germany. We did have someone come on the cast looking for a wife, and he did end up at the reunion, said he found the love of his life later, which was of the same gender. That has happened. I'm not one to put that on anyone unless they have come forth and said it. I have no problem with y'all having the thoughts and ideas, but I'm not going to put that on Sean. And if y'all have not been watching MAFS internationally, then you don't know Paul gives a whole bunch more flair as an expert in the UK. So if this is your first time experiencing the expert called Paul, y'all are seeing a very mild, diminished version of Paul, very clinical version of Paul that Trey and I have seen Paul from MAFS UK. There's a whole lot more to Paul. But what I'm saying is, don't forget, Shawn was in a band. He was a musician. You know, artistic musicians are out there too. But again, if you believe, that is fine for you to believe. Fine for you to believe, but I'm going to treat Shawn as he presents himself on the show as a man looking for a wife. That's it. Okay? Nikki, don't like him. That's fine. She told him go sleep on the couch. When I saw him take that whole bath, I would have been like, I have rescinded your permission to be in this bed until you wash your entire ass. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have a problem with that. I'm sorry, y'all. I have a problem with that. But again, this ain't gonna work with these two. I don't care how much they try to slice and dice it and try to serve it to us on a platter. It ain't gonna work for these two. And I'm hoping to get to a level of friendship that we could just ride this out and not go down in flames. Who wants to be next on this train? Who wants to be next? Trey, Ari?
Me, El Cid, and the others who were on the little behind the scenes party with Project One Way on Friday night, kind of chopped it up out back there. So this is not gonna be new to y'all if y'all were there. I will never discount that Shawn is an obvious issue, because he started out with the sexual innuendos, especially with that honeymoon baby thing when he met up with Paul, that first episode that they were in. Straight out the gate, can't be putting that on people. Sorry. You haven't even met this woman and you're already trying to put a baby in her. Like, y'all just need to get to know each other, and that's it. Just see where y'all go. It doesn't look like they even did anything on the honeymoon, so thankfully that didn't go anywhere. So, and that whole bath, baby, Shawn, my dad is a whole white man from the Caucasus Mountains of Europe, and even he takes a full-on shower and washes every single day. So you mean to tell me, as a black man, you don't wash your behind because you think soap is propaganda?
He did use a washcloth, though.
He used a washcloth with just water, wiping from the pits to the head, and just nasty. No,
he got the lower, not the upper back. Okay.
That's nasty. I'm sorry. The pits to the head is just disgusting when you don't even use soap. I go from the head down. And that's what I think that's what you should be doing, is the head down. But I digress. That's my preference.
Ari said that if you're dating her, she will inspect your bathroom routine.
I didn't say that, you did. So I'm just gonna let that lay there where it lays. So yeah. He likes to argue as well. I think he likes to argue as well. With that said, with all the issues that Shawn has, I think Nikki is a silent problem, because she was sitting over there saying that I want you to hear me and understand me. Like, not do you shower? Maybe not just do you shower. How do you shower? That's a two-parter for you, Terry. But anyway, so she's over there saying, I want to be heard and understood. Yet she's over there interrupting that man every chance she can, which is literally every second. If the roles were reversed and the man was interrupting her every second that he could, they would be like, you would have every woman across America drawing pitchforks, as they should have. But because he's a man, and it's a man that they don't like visually, it's a problem. That's a problem to me. I'm not gonna lambast her for having a visual preference, because if I am a person who believes, just like Kojo, if you over on his channel, that women are they enjoy the visuals too. Maybe not as much as men, maybe not, but they do. And I personally think that she is lying to the nth degree about her being a sapiosexual. So,
how you gonna be talking 69 and you ain't watching your 6 or your 9?
Just stop. We not talking about. It's just disgusting just thinking about
right.
it.
It really is. I'm like, oh, just.
Oh Lord.
But
I'm sorry. I digress.
But yeah. Regardless, I'm not gonna go hard. I'm never gonna, be hard on her for having a visual, like a preference of wanting to be attracted to your partner. I'm not gonna be hard on her because everybody's gonna be like that unless you're asexual. Yeah, I don't. Which she clearly is not. I'm not gonna get hard on her for that. Her problem is she's lying about it, and then wanna act like she's above the program. I'm like, okay. Anyways, I think that's all we have because I kind of got it out on Friday night, so it's
yes, and what Ari is talking about is for the members, we meet every Friday at 8:30 at the Hangout spot, and we usually watch a Tiny Desk concert. Recently, we've been watching Project Runway. We watched the show together. You just click the link. It'll be a post for members, and you join the room, and we hang out there. And after we watch the show, we dig in, and we was at each other's throats about Married at First Sight on Friday night. At the beginning and the end, we was tussling. But you know what? At the end, we come back together and say good night, everybody. See you next week. So we don't make it too serious. So Mondays for members is Messy Member Monday, and Friday nights it is for watching something together. So if you certainly want to join the membership, it is only 99 cents to be an L citizen and a little bit more to be a delegate. And for Monday nights is for grown folk, grown eyes, grown ears, grown brains. Okay, it gets messy. Who would like to go next about Nikki and Shawn, or is it your turn, Trey? Because I know I heard Easton.
It's Trey's turn.
Okay.
These people are perfect for each other. And that's the sad part about it all. They're perfect for each other. Perfect. Yes, they are perfect for each other. And that's the damnable part. Don't feel sorry for Nikki. Because she is just like Shawn is in a lot of instances. Okay? So I don't understand this. I mean, maybe it's like Easton was saying, the sisterhood want to come in and say today, I'm telling you, this is not the one you want to ride for. This ain't it.
Hold on one second, Trey. Felicia, thank you so much. And Trey and Easton are going to definitely get into it. I see a lot of corrective criticism for Shawn, and rightfully so. But what does Nikki need to improve on? I think, Trey, you're going to cover that.
Nikki is rude as hell. This is just a rude person. Not a rude woman, just a rude person. The problem with all this is, even with Shawn's sassiness, we want to call it, this, that, third, guess what? I guarantee you, this is the sad part, he's kind of spoke on this, I guarantee you, it wouldn't be a thing if Shawn actually looked like Pastor Cal. We calling him the fake Pastor Cal. If Pastor Cal was just standing there, I don't think Nikki would have had a problem. None whatsoever. None. This is just strictly, I'm just not physically attracted to him, but there are certain aspects of him that I think she does like. I do think that's true. I do think that is actually going on. You know what this feels like? And if you're old enough in the chat, y'all, everybody's talking. If you're old enough, you understand this. Everyone got that one in the past, that one bone in the closet that you know you don't like talking about, but it happened. You know, you probably actually like the person, but you know you ain't trying to be seen with that person because you know how it's gonna come off. Like, really? That dude or that chick? Yeah. Everybody, at least you get old enough, you have one. Maybe probably 2 or 3. Yeah, probably 2 or 3 if you're going to be honest, but you definitely had that one. Nikki is treating us like this is the one. Not really physically attracted to him, but she actually does like him. And the funny thing is, you know why she likes him? This is funny. Even though they are very argumentative with one another, there's a part of me, for some odd reason, I think Nikki actually likes the way Shawn checks her from time to time. This is a very intellectually intelligent man. He's clocking all the little bull crap she's trying to get across on. If you see what's happening here, he's clocking everything that she's doing and challenging it too. That she don't really have answers for.
Thank you.
But she got caught doing it. So you can't outsmart him, which she's been trying to do here. She's trying to play stupid like he's dumb or something. Like, no. I'm just intelligent as you are, and I understand what you exactly are trying to do here. Like, it's kind of crazy what's going on with this couple. Now that whole show is. Now I'm gonna be honest. God, it bothered me too. But a part of me was hoping. I think they're trying to do some trickery with. I think he probably did take a shower, but they're trying to do some trickery here because the whole scene was a little weird. When while he was in the bathroom, she's doing a little pat down. She's washing her face, whatever. She was wearing one thing. Then when they switched and after a little pat down, whatever, he finally came out the bathroom. He was coming from the left-hand side where the shower was, and she was wearing something totally different. So that tells me some time has passed, something happened, and they have changed. At least for her sake, she's changed clothes. Probably not in front of him, so I don't know. Some time has passed, so there's some tomfoolery going on with how this scene was framed. And the way she is so OCD, you can't convince me that she was just going to let him jump in bed without her saying something like, oh, hell no, get the heck up out of here. This mess. This ain't happening. So, I don't know. The whole scene was just wild. I see what it was doing. I was like, yeah, y'all really have to play it like that? That's kind of crazy. But it gives editing tomfoolery a little bit to me.
It gives editing something to work with, because when he said about, she's being affectionate off camera versus on camera, it was giving me Molly. It was giving me Molly. Right. If you all have been around Married at First Sight long enough, you would know, I believe her husband was John. Is giving John and Molly. Molly was a wife that was cussing her husband 6 ways to Sunday behind the scenes. And then in front of the experts saying, oh, it's lovely. I'm just not there yet. And he's like, wait a minute. She is just being mean to me off camera. And nobody believed him until he secretly filmed her then put the footage out there. And then everybody is like, oh my gosh, Molly.
This is gonna fall on deaf ears because the sisterhood already got their decision made. They already got the cooking. I already know what's going on. I already know what's in the comments. The sisterhood already has a decision made, but she likes that man a little bit. The problem is he don't match her physical attributes that she likes. And granted, if, like I said beforehand in the comments, if Nikki was as great and if Shawn is as great as what they both claim to be with their degrees, and since they so smart and since they know every dang thing, they would have somebody by now, but they don't because they're not that great. they're both flawed in their own individual way. And right now, Nikki does a really good job of having an HR response to all of the different caveats. And Shawn is a freaky frog, and he dirty.
Well, here's the fun. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. That's crazy work. You just said that. You know the crazy thing for me is we keep calling Shawn with this freak talk or whatever. Outside of that first episode, he hasn't said anything freaky of the. After she put that boundary on, and after they had that talk that night or whatever, what freak thing has he said?
One time he said, "I won't mind a boob popping out." That's one time he said it. This episodes.
He said something way worse.
Weird. And you know what? That's weird for me, Elsa, because she didn't deny it either. Because she thought she was looking mad cute. Because she did the boob was popping out. I was wondering, well, why you get a swimsuit that fit? That's what I was thinking the whole time.
She likes the attention. She likes the attention. She just doesn't like the rapper that is she doesn't like the container or the person that the attention is coming from. Like I said in the beginning, if he was a PA, or if he was a physician doctor, if he was a medical doctor, that's when she changed. Her opinion changed when she thought he was a doctor, and then she found out he was a doctor of education. He has to meet these criterias and these like benchmarks for her to look in public, because for her at this point, like, Nikki's accomplished everything. She needs to, the cherry on top is having the attractive guy who might have the washboard abs, who makes the money. Shawn don't got the look for her, but he has pretty much everything else. And so Nikki likes that he checks her and that he's got a little bit of intellect about him, but he just doesn't have the look. I know it could be a lazy observation, but it's true.
Not lazy. She's not liking herself because she does like him mentally, and that's the start of the show. As it goes forward, she likes him mentally. That's why I said at the beginning. Yeah, they kind of knew what they were doing when they put them together. Mentally, they're a match.
Right.
They're both very pretentious people. Both of them. They think clearly very highly of themselves.
What are y'all now? We got
They are very used to getting their own way in their own lives. It's their way or the highway. Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them.
You can buy the degree he has.
And that's where a lot. I didn't say it was a match. I said they're perfect for each other. I didn't say it was a good match. They're just perfect for each other. Because I'm be honest with you. At this point, I wouldn't wish none of them on anybody else.
Right?
Nikki included. Yes. Y'all not listening to Nikki included. You let a Nikki come up to one of my homeboys. Hey, bro, I don't know about that one. She got a lot of accolades. She look good on paper, but I'm hearing her talk. I'm saying I seen how she moved. That ain't the play, my boy. To a homegirl. If a homegirl pull a Shawn up to me, who is this ninja and why did you bring him here? The heck? Now he has a lot of accolades. I'm talking to him. He's highly intelligent. I actually kind of like dude. But you're trying to be in a relationship with him, he got some issues he need to figure out first. I don't know which one of those he need to figure out first, but there's something he need to figure out before he get with you. Both of them got problems.
Both of them got problems, but the sister won't let y'all showcase or even say that Nikki got issues. Y'all gonna be like, it's all Shawn.
Stop taking up for people who wouldn't put piss on you to put you out of fire. Okay? Stop. And I'm saying this to most of the ladies. Stop taking up for these people who would never take up for you.
Because this is what's gonna happen later in the season. Y'all gonna see Nikki for her mask gonna slip. That HR mask. It's
already slipping.
It's
already slipping. What? She's about to say something. She's about to put herself in a position. She's going to say something. It's going to be a total crash out. She's going to look like the villain. They're already painting her up for that for this season. If you're not paying attention, everybody's trying to get ahead of it. Oh no, it's not just her. She's just not chatting. It's all Shawn. Shawn, outside of one thing, has not done anything totally disrespectful to her.
Hold on. His degree is not considered relative in the academic society. He
See,
is.
that's the sisterhood.
Wow, here we
Hold
go.
on, hold on.
Wow.
Get him.
I wouldn't say that because he is at an academic level where he could be the president of a small college. Okay, he could be. If when I did the Meet the Cast, I dug into Shawn, his thesis, his background. He went to City University in New York. He is legit. One program that he did start in New York about helping Black men navigate college and higher education is still going on. I'm just going to say it. I'm not going to discount his education. Nikki is no, even if you're going to say that, Nikki is no doctor. Okay. But calm down, Trey. The ladies want you to calm down. We don't need you having an aneurysm.
Oh, I'm not having an aneurysm.
But
That was a wild take.
That was a wild take.
Why was it wild? Because it's going to be proven true. I'll put that on everything. Watch what happens. Watch what happens.
It ain't gonna be this next batch of episodes, but wait till the next the week afterwards. Not this week.
Watch what happens. Watch what happens.
And y'all look at us, and then Trey and I be on our redemption tour, and we be like, "We told y'all, we told you."
Listen.
Yeah, no, I definitely am agreeing with both y'all because, like, look, she's gonna end up doing like she's just not. I just can't get behind that. Shawn is all the problem.
You know, Nikki don't like that's not the argument.
Yeah, that's not the argument. I said earlier, I'm not going to lambast her for not wanting the man physically because she's like, if that's her, that's not her preference. That's her preference. I'm not going to get on her for that because I'm a person who needs to find my man attractive, so I'm not going to get on her for that. But the way she speaks is such an issue. It's such an issue. Rude. She's just as bad as him as she's claiming he is to be. So
yes, she's rude.
This is what's gonna happen.
Okay.
When they meet the experts, that's when the mask gonna fully slip because they're gonna tell her about herself, and then it's gonna be Shawn. They're gonna find out that Shawn has been going above and beyond to try to make her comfortable and make her feel safe and do all of these things. And then it's gonna be like, oh well, the ball is in your court. And then y'all gonna really find out that she can't lie no more. And then she gonna get resentful, and then she gonna have contempt. And then she'll probably gonna go off on Shawn. That's my bet. But
she is going to. Here's the problem. I was going to. Rochelle asked that question. I'm going to answer it very specifically. What's going to happen? They're going to get into an argument, and she's actually going to challenge or say something disrespectful to Shawn in the matter that's going to talk to him as a professional academic. And it's going to be so bad that everyone's going to look at her sideways. Like, why did you say that?
Especially since we're having dinner parties.
Yeah.
Who was the people off of Love is Blind?
We already saw an example of this in the comments that you brought up. This man is a professional in his field. But because you think this woman don't like him so much to a certain point, you have to downgrade what he has accomplished for himself just to prove a point.
Beautiful.
That's telling me more about you than him. I'm sorry. Look how I'm only reacting to what's actually being shown. I'm not disliking Nikki for something I'm making up. This is stuff that she's been showing me.
Right.
This is stuff she's been showing me, and I can see it. I got two eyes. Just because I got my shades on, I'm putting my shades on because I'm trying to block the crap she's putting out on me. It might put my eyes out. But Shawn ain't no different. That's why I said they're perfect for one another. They're perfect.
Y'all, wait, real quick. Y'all remember that? What was Denver season of Love is Blind? The black couple.
Say something nice.
This is exactly what's gonna happen. This is like a 1-for-1 apples to apples analogy. Homeboy, what's his name?
Edmund.
Edmund was pushing for sex early. She was like, I gotta have boundaries. Knowing good and dang well she ain't like that man the whole time. Then she gonna say no and pull that man all the way to the altar. This is what's gonna happen, and I can't wait because I'm gonna be able to walk around, Trey. We all gonna be able to walk around and be like, we told y'all so.
And I will let the ladies know if they are wrong. These gentlemen aren't afraid to eat crow either. Okay, they ain't afraid to eat.
It's the problem with all of this.
So y'all, we're at the 3-hour mark. I appreciate all of you. Here are all of our
Okay.
couples. Okay. I want from each of my panelists, what do you expect in the next few episodes? How do you expect, not for each couple, but what do you expect all around for the season? I'm a finish with Easton. Trey, let me hear from you.
Carnage. Yeah, we're going to see it in the form of these sit downs with the expert. Oh, the sit downs with the expert, and also when they start doing the dinner parties, this is where it's about to go crazy, because people are about to get called out from observations of other couples and what's being said behind the scenes, like the women talking to women, the men talking to men, and then the couples talking to one another. Oh, stuff is being said and it's going to get brought up that you said it. You know, I'm telling you right now, some of these, what stuff that me and Easton have been talking about, especially when we get characters like Nikki or Caitlyn or Courtney, especially those ones. Stuff is being said behind the scenes that is going to get brought up because people pillow talking to their spouses.
Right.
And
And
if you have,
going to get brought up.
if you have watched UK's version, or if you have watched Australia version, you know the carnage that a dinner party can bring. We are happy
Yes.
to have both the experts and the dinner parties in the US versions. Ari, what because
I'm sorry. And the main offenders is going to be Adam and Marissa.
and don't forget how Shawn talked to the men at the vacation versus how Nikki told the ladies about the challenges. We will have some revisionist history.
It's about to get crazy.
Oh yeah, Ari, what do you think is coming up?
I have heard some things about one of the couples. I'm not gonna say who, and I don't know if it's for sure, but if true, I'm glad, because I'm just gonna say I'm glad. Yeah, I foresee maybe 3 saying yes if we're going all the way to D-Day. But one of them is not gonna stay together, because I don't think one of them likes the other. And then one of the other ones I think could work if they actually work in the show. Actually, both of them, the other two. But yeah, everyone else is gonna be like, it's gonna implode and severely, like Trey was saying, basically. So, I mean, it's just a matter of when. To be quite honest, I think some sooner than others. But yeah, that's basically all I got.
What Ari's trying to say is there's a couple that's going to implode. Okay, implode and implode wildly, and they're not going to make it to D-Day. At least 2 couples not going to make it to D-Day. Easton.
Great panel per usual. How I see things going is things are going to take a huge shift for the good and for better or for worse when the experts come in and when there's the dinners. I think that the crowd, a lot of the listeners have really gotten into the production's ear in terms of like wanting more accountability, and that means that there will be a lot of people's favorites held accountable for the lack of effort that they're putting into the experiment, as well as some of the actions that that both partners have exuded within the experiment. And I think that that's going to be that's going to bode well for a lot of carnage and a lot of growth if people can take that and be accountable. But it's MAFS, so it's not likely that they're going to take accountability for it. They're probably going to just deflect and then eventually just run away. But I think that I see maybe 2 couples making it all the way, and then I think by the reunion maybe 1 person will be still together.
On that note, I thank the panelists. I thank everyone who has been here. Please make sure you hit the like button on the way out, and I need y'all to stop sharing food mouth to mouth.
Put me down with food in her mouth. What?
We need to stop that. That is not attractive. We're not going to do this in 2026 going into 2027. Okay. Thank you all so much for being here. We're going to be here again next week. Same time, same place. Make sure you have your notifications on, and I will see you on the next one.